I got some breaking news. All right, this is some big news. Khabib just leaked the fight date for Islam Makhachev versus GDM. I say leaked because this was the worst kept secret in MMA. I mean, we figured this. I said this in my last video. I mean, I was honestly, actually, I shouldn't really say this because I was really the only person that doubted this, guys. And don't worry, I'm going to read the chat. I see Johnny Monday already popped up in here. Obviously, I saw Shiv already responded to him, my boy, the moderator, the man, you know what I mean? The man, the myth, the legend. Anyway, guys, but like I said, Khabib confirmed Islam's next fight. And we're going to watch the clip. He did an interview, I think in New York City, I think it was. I'm not sure. But he didn't care about the UFC. UFC usually likes to announce these things. He said, nah, I don't care. So we're going to talk about that and talk about my thoughts on the fight. And like I said, I think I was the only person that didn't think that this fight was going to happen in New York City. I kind of felt like that I felt like that maybe Ilia Topuria would get that spot given normally what the UFC does with their bigger stars. Like you see with Conor McGregor back in the day, right? Conor McGregor got International Fight Week. Then later on he got New York City. You know what I mean? And I think that's what they like to do. And think about Israel Adesanya. That's another good example. He literally got International Fight Week, I think 2022, right? Or maybe it was 2023. I don't remember. But one time he got International Fight Week. And then he got the Pereira fight in NYC. Obviously, then he lost that fight. But we're going to react to that. We're also going to talk about the UFC Fight Night, guys. Tatsuro Taira, man. He did very good against Hyun-sung Park. Short notice opponent at Rear Naked Choke, guys. It was tight. I liked a lot. I thought the prelims were pretty good. I was watching the prelims. A lot of good finishes, and we'll get into that. Talk a little bit about it, but let's be honest, guys. It's an Apex card. Do we really want to spend that much time talking about it? It really, this is the state of the UFC, man. We get these cards and we don't even care, and it's like, it's fight night. But does anyone even want to hear me talk about the fight that just took place 20 minutes ago? I don't know. You guys let me know. Anyway, Diego Lopez also we're going to talk about him. He's training, and I also am really excited to talk about this, and I highly doubt I'll make a video on this, probably because it'll be old news by then. That's why I wanted to talk about it on stream, guys. Aiden Ross exposes Khamzat Chimaev for wanting $600K, and it kind of goes into the many theories we have speculated about Khamzat, about, why he doesn't fight that often, maybe speculating to how he has so much money, how he could afford not to fight. We'll get into all of that without getting too into specifics because, of course, I don't know anything. This is all speculation, guys. But let's get into it. I mean, should we just start off? Let's rip off right off the bat, guys. This is Khabib. He went on the Cornell Combat Sports Show. I've never heard this, but let's hear what he had to say. This is credit to ACD MMA, the guy. I follow him. I like him. I think he reports some good news. I feel like he's one of the first. Usually, let me lower this. Jeez. Okay, guys. So, I will whatever the if you guys type in the chat, I'll respond later. Let's react to this. I'll break it down, give my thoughts, and I'll look. So, anyway, let's look at this video. I guess I'll just put it in full screen. This was Khabib at, like I said, at the show, whatever. Let's just hear what he has to say.
I think here in New York. Come on, guys! Ali, brother, they promised us. Be quiet, please.
I think the manager.
He's upset because I give information, like. But this is his deal with UFC. I don't deal with UFC. This is his problem. But we have deal with them. He's gonna fight in Madison Square Garden, and they say yes.
Okay, so Khabib basically, like I said, I made the joke before about him not caring, but he pretty much said here, yeah, he doesn't care because he's like, I don't really work with UFC, so that's Islam's problem. But hey, it's agreed. We literally have contracts signed. It's literally a done deal. I'm here to announce it, which it's weird. I mean, I don't know. It was a weird move, I guess. Like, I understand if Islam announces the fight. Like, I never get why the UFC is always so strict on announcing the fights. Like, look, it's dope sometimes to get the Dana White announcement. I get it. But it's honestly, I don't know about you guys. Maybe I'm alone. I feel like it's gotten a little stale. I'm sorry, guys. I especially the live. Like, it was cool. Oh, my God, it's so... But a lot of the times, half the time, he's announcing fights that are already speculated. Yeah, there have been some crazy Dana White drops. But lately, I mean, I would say the last drop that he did with Khalil versus Yuri, that was a bit shocking, that fight alone. But, and I know a lot of people maybe were shocked about Merab and Corey Sandhagen. I wasn't really that shocked, though. I kind of figured they were probably going to fight in that card, and Merab has talked about wanting to fight early and wanting to fight soon, so I'm not exactly surprised. But, so I don't think it was very shocking, and I just don't think, we're getting those, oh my God moments. So why not let the fighters go out and do their own thing and announce their fights, because they will probably put in a lot more effort. Like, look at Ilia Topuria when he makes those fight videos, when, usually he signs a fight, usually he puts out a high production video, or I don't know, maybe not usually, but I know he did it with the Alexander Volkanovski fight where he had the roses, he had the whole thing going for himself. So, you're going to see Ilia Topuria put in 10 times more effort, you know what I'm saying, into announcing his fight then, Dana White hopping on Instagram Live. Let me just go fucking click Instagram Live and say, Ilia Topuria is fighting, and say whoever he's fighting. Like, seriously, like, I understand sometimes. Look, I think the UFC, they need to up their announcement game in general. I've always said this, like, we need some, end of the pay-per-view type stuff, setting up next fights. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know. The UFC at this point is so big, they could just do whatever they want at this point, so I think that's just kind of what the issue is. Let's see, guys. Let's see what you guys are saying. What's up, Johnny Monday says, nothing much. What's up, Johnny, with you? I'm going to miss this one, unfortunately, but might join in later. Give a kiss for me, Jack. All right, PZ. Look, PZ's the GOAT. I don't blame him. It's a Saturday night. You know what I'm saying? He's probably out there partying out here, getting drunk. You know what I'm trying to say? And, yeah, I'm just here streaming, man. I'm here watching some UFC. Let's see. So Fancy says, who you guys think would win in a fight, Sonic or Knuckles? Yeah, I don't know, guys. I would probably say Knuckles just given the name, man. But, because Sonic just runs, type. But I don't really know much about the Sonic Knuckles type lore, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm not really into that. I was never really into the Nintendo type scene, you know what I'm saying? Myself personally, though, and I know a lot of people that are, though. I've played some Super Smash Bros., some of that, but that's about it. Anywho. But yeah, but about Khabib, guys, I think it's weird for him to announce it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I get if Islam wants to announce it, he wants it to be personal. He wants to hop on, I don't know, he wants to hop on an interview like Dustin Poirier. He announced his fight against Max Holloway on ESPN. That was a big deal. I think he was on the Pat McAfee show, and he announced it himself, said, yeah, this is happening in my hometown, broke that it was happening in Louisiana, broke that, he was going to be the main event, broke his opponent. I mean, it was the most I think the UFC has done in terms of give a fighter control. Even then, I would say with an asterisk, because let's be real, the UFC definitely booked that interview with Pat McAfee. So, I mean, even then, realize says volume, bro. Is it too loud? Or no, it's too low. I know, right? I was noticing it's too. Oh my God, wait, guys. Guys, my bad. I lowered it. What the fuck? I meant to lower the desktop audio before, and I lowered my own mic audio, guys. My bad. Damn, bro. I hate when I do that shit. Sorry, y'all. But we're back. That's what I was gonna say, bro. I was thinking before, like, why is my shit so low? I was thinking, like, because I was trying to up the gain on my actual mic. Because I was like, why is my audio level so low? It's because I actually lowered it. Whatever, guys. We don't need to get too into deep with that. But as for the fight with JDM and Islam, I mean, I'm excited for it to happen in New York. I mean, that's where I am. If I'm going to go, probably not. Because I think that these UFC prices are absolutely insane. And I can only imagine in New York City, the tax here, you're going to get, like, destroyed trying to get these tickets, bro. Like, I'm going to have to, I don't even know. Look, I don't know. I think going to UFC events are cool, especially, you go for the first time, go for the second time, maybe, but I'm fine. I think if it was cheaper, I definitely would consider it. If it was like 200 to 300, I would consider it. Even 400, maybe, if it was a dope fight. If it was Islam Makhachev versus JDM and then a bunch of other cool fights, which I think it probably will wind up being. If it's like 400, maybe 500 max a ticket, okay, fine, I understand. But, come on, I'm like, some of the, like, guys, you understand how ridiculous this is? A lot of it is like 1,100 minimum. And you're sitting in a terrible seat. I mean, it's ridiculous. So I highly doubt it. I mean, unless the card is really insane, but it would have to be like some legendary status. But I don't know. I don't think. I mean, I really like the Islam and JDM fight. That's a fight that, like I said, I think it's funny because if you would have said that probably in April, I don't know if necessarily there was so much excitement, especially, at least I could speak for myself. At least I can speak for myself. There wasn't so much excitement, but when you see him go up and beat Bilal like how he did, defending the takedowns time and time again, I don't know. It makes me wonder, could he do the same for Islam? And Realize says, I'm leaning JDM. And yeah, I'm honestly leaning JDM as well, to be honest. I feel like JDM is going to win as well. I think JDM, he showed against Bilal his cardio, and Islam, I feel like he actually isn't that big. Oh, I actually hit the mic, guys. My bad. I don't know if that was loud. What do you call it? I think that Islam isn't like so big of a lightweight. Like, he isn't someone that I think is going to be, I don't know. I'll see. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him and we're like, oh wow, he is the same size as JDM. That's what I'm curious about. I'm curious about the size. I feel like he's going to look like an average welterweight, maybe, a little smaller than JDM. That is just my prediction, but maybe I'm wrong. I think it's hard to put on so much weight. I think, and the question is, I mean, how do you think that makes the Ilia Topuria fight better or worse if he, loses to JDM? I assume he would probably want to go back down to lightweight, and I doubt he would stay at welterweight, but maybe he does. I don't know. Maybe he really doesn't want to make weight that much, but assuming, right, that he goes back to lightweight, does that make the Ilia Topuria fight bigger? I don't know. I think it kind of loses. I don't know. It really depends. We could all say this guessing. It really depends how the fight goes down. Let's be real. I want to see what you guys had to say. I'd like to say the same. Oh, about leaning GDM. Yeah, I agree. Loki seeing Dustin defend the takedowns. Well, I always wonder with that performance, guys, and I've always said about that with that Dustin fight. Was it Dustin, or was it the fact that, it was pretty much all but confirmed Islam Makhachev had staff, and this isn't me trying to, like, people are going to say, oh, I'm making excuses. It's not that I'm making excuses, guys. I'm not, I'm not here saying, oh, don't hate. No one's hating on Islam. I'm not defending him. I'm just saying, though, if we're going to, try to, assess his skill, I don't know if that's the best representation, but it could be. I don't know, because I'm trying to think, because I actually could see it, because if you look at the pattern, Volkanovski gave Islam trouble. Like you just said, Dustin gave him trouble. So that's why I am also leaning JDM. But I don't know. That performance, though, I always wonder, is it a fat kid saying it's hard to put on weight, lol? Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, what I'm saying? Like, it is hard, what I'm saying? I mean, I guess if you're saying, like, oh, I got myself, it is what it is, JDM seems to be thicker, but size doesn't matter much. Doesn't seem to matter much at the top of the sport. It does, but at the same time, if we're talking about like grappling, I think it will make a difference. You know what I mean? That's what I think, at least. Like, I think grappling, like that if it was just striking, I think it would make as much of a difference, but we'll see. I don't think Makhachev could handle the damage Topuria would bring. I wonder about that, because myself, like, I also thought in the beginning of the year, how ridiculous is this conversation, Ilia versus Islam? I really thought this, and I think I probably said this on the channel, but I've been bought. I mean, I don't even know. Yeah, I bought into it. I mean, seriously, I've literally been convinced. I've been converted. I believe in Ilia Topuria. I believe he could do it. I don't know. I feel like, especially against the Dagestani guys, like, I feel like there's been a lot of times, especially, like, I remember even against Khabib, I was like, oh, I wonder if Justin Gaethje's going to be the guy. Obviously, hindsight's 2020. Obviously, I know that's a bit ridiculous now, but at the time, I mean, the odds were pretty close, I believe. Or maybe it wasn't, actually. Maybe the odds weren't really that close, actually. I'm thinking about it. But I wondered if he was the guy. Like I said, I don't remember who I was exactly leaning at the time. I think I definitely obviously I probably picked Khabib, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I feel like typically we always say, oh, like, could this be the end? Could this be a stumble? And it just does not get to that point. So that's just what I think. For Islam to win, I think he'd have to neuter Ilia for the entire fight, but I think he'd get shots off. I guess he'd have to neuter Ilia. I don't know what that means. I don't know if you mean he's going in for the shot, just trying to take everything. I mean, I don't even know, but yeah, I feel like it would be that. But I feel like, look, you saw against Volkanovski, against smaller guys, he was able to get up and not really hold down the smaller guy. And even against Dustin has a similar kind of build, if you think about it, to Ilia Topuria. He's a boxer. He's a southpaw, which is a bit different, which is a lot different, I should say. But even then, they're both boxers. I think Dustin. Oh no, Dustin. I think he's like 5'9", and Ilya's like 5'8", so they're about the same height. Both short limbs. Wrestle the entire time. Yeah. That definitely is what it's gonna be. And I think the big thing, I think we have to wonder is, there's a lot we don't know. We know a lot more about Islam than we do about Ilya, because with Islam, I feel like we've seen him in the later rounds, and we've seen that he could push himself, but we've only really seen Ilia Topuria in the later rounds against Josh Emmett. Now, this isn't me saying that I think Ilia Topuria would gas. I actually don't think this. I think that this wouldn't be a problem for Ilya, but I'm just pointing out that we don't know everything about Ilya, and who knows, maybe, we're saying all this, but maybe a massive flaw has just yet to be exposed. That's always possible. I mean, I'm just saying, I think though that he will be good. I'm not sold yet on, like, I don't know who would. I'm wondering myself. Let's ask this, and I want to know what you guys think. And let me see. Can I add I want to see if I could add a poll. Yeah, let's do this. All right. Let me know, guys. Who do you guys think? Who do you think would win? Islam right now. If you had to pick, who would win in a fight, Islam or Ilya? I'm gonna put it in the chat, guys. You guys can vote, because I'm curious. Let's see. Okay. You guys could take a vote if you guys want. I'll leave it up for a little bit, and we'll evaluate it. But, what are you saying? But yeah, I personally would probably lean right now. I mean, everyone's saying I see 2 votes are in just for Ilya. I don't know. I don't know. It's really tough. I honestly think I would go Ilya. I really do think I would go Ilya. I don't think that Ilya would get taken down, or not that he would get taken down. I think he will get taken down, but I just don't see him getting controlled. I think he has really good jiu-jitsu. I think he would be able to get up, and I think he could find the shot at some point in that 25 minutes against Islam. I don't think Islam is that good defensively, and I think he would. I think that's where he would get caught. Let's see what you guys are saying. You never know how styles will mesh in the octagon. Styles really do make fights. Yeah, and that's true. And I feel like Ilya is very confident, and I feel like he's someone that could push forward against Islam. I think he could definitely catch Islam. I mean, Islam's gotten knocked out before, but Ilya also hits extremely hard. We've seen, Charles Oliveira, he just said recently, he said that he's never got hit by anyone so hard, and, obviously it shows. He got brutally knocked out. I know not Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway said that Ilya Topuria wasn't the hardest hitter that he's fought, but he did get knocked out. He's knocked out a lot of guys up and down weight classes now. Hear me out. Pantoja versus Aspinall. Yeah, I don't know. I think whatever commission would sign off on that would probably get their license revoked, or not provoked. What the hell? What is it? Provoked? Is it? When's the date? So the date is in November, Madison Square Garden. If I were to take a guess, I think it's the 14th of November. I believe it is. So, yeah, November 14th in NYC, Madison Square Garden. This is Khabib. If you just came in for this, Rashad. Khabib just said this on this video. So don't worry about that, yeah. And let me know, so if you think, I see someone said Islam, Rashad said Islam, I assume. I don't know. It's a tough one. I don't know. I think that right now, I don't know. I think because you know what it is? I want to see how he is against JDM. I think it is going to be a big mistake going up and down weight classes, and that is a huge, huge disadvantage when we're talking about the matchup as well. That's what I think. But let me know what you guys think, though. Let's see. I want to talk about this, actually. You know what? Let's talk about the most interesting thing. I'm not going to edge you guys today. Let's get into this, guys. Aiden Ross exposes... Let me see. Aiden Ross exposes Khamzat Chimaev, guys. And I'm going to respond to the chat in a little bit. This is Aiden Ross. I got to fix this, actually. What the heck? Okay, this is Aiden Ross. He is, obviously, if you guys don't know, a pretty popular streamer on the internet and all this. And, yeah, so he has done streams with Islam Makhachev. Apparently, Islam Makhachev did his stream for free. He hit up Khamzat Chimaev to do a stream with him. This was, for UFC 319 that's coming up next month. Or UFC, is it UFC 320 or UFC? It's UFC 319, my bad, guys. UFC 319 next month. And what are we at? So 3 votes for Ilya. Wow. So yeah, we're keeping going, guys. Keep voting. I want to know what it is at the end of the day. I'm curious to know what it is at the end of the night. Islam versus Ilya. I like I said, I think Ilya, but I could definitely see. I think the up and down weight classes is such a big factor. I think if the fight would have happened June 28th, I really think that Islam would have won. But I think that the fight, given that, this is now Islam moving up and down weight classes and everything like that, given with that aspect, and given the fact that now also Ilia Topuria will probably have a title defense by then in the lightweight weight class, assuming he wins his next fight. But I think he will if it's against Justin Gaethje or Paddy Pimblett. I think he's going to be either one of those guys. You guys let me know actually in the chat if you guys don't think those are, I'm not going to say they're slam dunks, but I'm going to say, I'm fairly confident he's going to get through them. I'm not even going to say it's 100% done deal. I wouldn't bet, my life on it or anything, but that's my opinion. But let me get into this, guys, and I am going to read what the chat is saying. I see you guys are typing a bit, and remember, guys, if you guys haven't already, vote on the Islam versus Ilia poll. I'm curious to see who will win. Aiden Ross, I guess, reached out to Islam, to Khamzat Chimaev's team about doing a live stream next month for his fight at UFC 319. That's in Chicago, and this is what I guess happened. Khamzat Chimaev outpriced himself. Let's just take a look.
Oh, Cough, I actually want to tell you something really funny. I don't care. I'm gonna air it out, Prismel. Oh God, I connected Prismel with one of someone from Khamzat's team, and the guy said $700,000 to stream with Cosma. I never laughed so hard in my life.
What the fuck?
700K, guys.
700K?
Yeah.
That's just bad.
Oh, Cough,
700K Khamzat Chimaev charged. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I'm not getting paid 700K to be here, and I'm on stream, and now it's black. I'm not getting paid 700K, and I'm here, and I'm streaming right now, so I don't understand the whole issue. 700K is absolutely fucking insane from Khamzat. I mean, Khamzat Chimaev, please, thank God Aiden Ross did not give him the 700K, because we would have zero chance Khamzat Chimaev would defend his title, because he would just be, oh no, I got 700K in the bank. I'll be good for the next few years. I'll defend my title in a few years in Abu Dhabi with a few pullouts probably, so it'll probably be 5 years. Remember there was a time where Khamzat Chimaev was loved because he would fight all the time, and it's just fallen off in that way. In that way, he's fallen off. I don't know about skill, but he has fallen off. And so asking for 700K, let's be real. We know that he is getting a lot of money for, making appearances with certain type of government officials, let us just say. And, you know what I mean? This is all pretty much, speculated. This is speculated that he is getting paid, to make appearances, to, spend time, kind of you pay the clown to go to the birthday party type of situation for your little kid. That's the type of situation, but we're talking grown men. And hey, we got moderator Cam here, bro. Yo, you got to join. If you join the Discord, I'll hop. You can hop on here. Okay, let me read some of the chat also. Fair enough, but my personal opinion, let heavyweights take TRT. It's clearly too hard for them to be big and in shape. I mean, I've seen a lot of people say this, but at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't think it's that. I think that you guys are giving the UFC a bit of a pass. You know what I'm saying? You guys are giving the UFC a little bit of a pass in this whole situation. And now, look, the Ilia versus Islam poll is very, very close. I see you guys. Like I said, guys, keep voting. Let's see. I want to see what it is at the end of the day. But I don't think that is. I think you guys are giving the UFC excuses. They're just not looking for good heavyweights. Let's be real. And especially they just cut a heavyweight that was 7-1 or something like that when you got no good heavyweights. It doesn't even make sense. I mean, I'm hoping, look, there's been times where divisions have been slow. I feel like there was one time a few years ago where the featherweight division was really trash. But look where we are now. I feel like it's popping, you know what I'm saying? So maybe it will be popping again, but I feel like at the same time, guys, I don't think the solution is, yeah, all the heavyweights are fat pieces of shit. You know what I'm trying to say? At this rate, I mean, yeah, maybe they are, but you know what I'm trying to say? But maybe, I feel like there's time for them to get in shape. I mean, look, you got guys like Cyril Gane, Sergey. I mean, they were literally a year ago, I feel like, or maybe 2 years ago, the heavyweight division was popping, but when you have a guy that, holds up a division for 2 years, yeah, obviously things are going to get pretty stale. And even for everybody, I mean, you got to also consider this. I mean, even if you're a guy that's ranked, number 15, let's just say, what's your motivation for going up to the top if, there's a champion that's not even, defending his title? So even if you are going to fight, 3 fights, for what? To not even fight for a title, to be on the sidelines, to maybe fight Tom Aspinall, who is a harder fight than John Jones. You're not even going to get the undisputed title. It's literally terrible. It's a terrible situation for you. So think about this. The heavyweight contenders themselves aren't motivated. The UFC is clearly not motivated to do anything because they were holding out hope John Jones would just return. So I think you guys are just, guys, remember, the UFC, they could do a lot better in this situation. Let's also see. I don't Aspinall record to be a you don't want his record to be a bunch of blobs. That it might very well be a bunch of blobs. I mean, I swear to God, I think Derek Lewis is probably one win away from a title shot, which is absolutely insane. I think Patty looks like he is so shit, but has surprised me with Chandler. So to be fair, if he fights Armin, I think he wins because of plot armor. Well, that's actually funny, plot armor. Dead ass. Like, I feel like Sean O'Malley beating Peter Yan with some plot armor as well. Like, there's been definitely a lot of plot armor examples. But honestly, yeah. So Patty, did he look impressive against Chandler? I definitely did think so. I thought that Chandler was going to win. Yeah, I mean, I think he looked good. I don't know though. It's just like I think that Chandler in this stage of his career, he's extremely washed. I mean, he went through 5 rounds with Charles Oliveira a couple months prior. Went in there pretty much short notice. We talked about this at the time on the channel, but it was pretty much all but confirmed that Paddy Pimblett knew about the fight months before Michael Chandler did. And it seems to me, this is speculatory. This isn't confirmed. This is my own speculation. You guys know the whole deal. But it seemed to me at the time, maybe the UFC had given Michael Chandler shorter notice because one would think to give Patty an advantage in a longer training camp. That would be what one would conclude. Maybe not me, maybe me, but this is all just opinion based on public knowledge, guys. So I'm just drawing speculations. You guys can't blame me here. But yeah, he already does crypto scams, to be fair. Hamza? Yeah, for real. Like, this guy is down bad for anything. Like, crypto scam. Like, what is this guy, in debt? I mean, seriously. What the hell? People already get away with get away with though I don't know what that is. People already get away with though Marab's fitness ain't natty, bro, surely. Well, look, honestly, I think at the end of the day, the truth is you don't want to look into like how many people are actually on steroids, because I think the answer would probably disappoint a lot of people. I think that there's a lot of people on steroids. I think that probably there's so many ways that you can get past steroids that we don't even know of. That's not even probably public. I think we're cooked with the whole steroid thing. I mean, the best we could do is try to lessen it. And is there a fight tonight? There was a fight tonight between Tatsuro Taira and Hyun-sung Park. But, I mean, it wasn't very interesting. I'm not even talking about that fight. That's not even why I'm live. I'm just live chatting shit about Hamzat, about Islam, about everybody. You know what I'm trying to say? Let's see what else, guys. So, but no, I want to get back to Khabib, though, and the whole Islam Makhachev situation. Or let's see, is there any, like, news maybe popping right now? Did anything break? Because sometimes, there'd be some news breaking. I mean, what about the card? Yeah, me versus Jack, yeah. You ain't even hopping on Discord, so how are we gonna fight? Apparently, double fight of the night bonus with Elvis Brenner and Esteban Ribovic, and also Mateusz Rebecki versus Chris Duncan. Now, this was both those fights were actually good, so I don't blame the double fight of the night. I just think it's ridiculous. We're still in the Apex. Come on, dude. This is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane, guys. So, what else is there, guys? Let's see. I wanted to talk about this for a bit. This is Diego Lopez, who is supposed to be fighting Gene Silva at UFC Noche. This is a fight I'm actually interested in. I actually wanted to show you guys because I was like, what the hell? Diego Lopez going absolutely insane on the pads. Let's see. Okay, wait, did he just punch him in the stomach, bro? Like, what is this, man? Bro's abusing his trainer? Did he? Yeah, he literally punched him in the stomach. What was this about? What the hell was this? They're just like, they're also dumbfounded. Like, did he just fucking hit him in the stomach? Let's fucking see. Damn. Is that why they cut it, bro? Because bro, like, fell to his knees? Let's see. Did he walk away in pain? Yeah, he definitely was shitting his pants. Let's see that. I mean, that's incredible hand speed. That's crazy. That's crazy, but does he have the cardio to keep that up? That's the real question. That's the real question. Let's see. Jack, what's up, buddy? Gene Silva is bad news for everyone. I think so, because I think Gene Silva is just will fight anybody and do anything. He'll just go forward the whole time. Camilo says rack attack. Yo, Camilo is you know what? Maybe should I pin him? I'm gonna pin him. All right, let's see, guys. But no, I'm excited for that fight, for this fight night. I like they should have focused Lopez versus Rodriguez. Yeah, Silva would have been a good fight with anyone. Yeah, I think that honestly, I think that the move should have definitely have been the Rodriguez versus Lopez fight, because there's just more beef there. You know what I'm saying? There's actually a story there. There's actually something that we all wanted to see. If we actually see Yair Rodriguez versus Alexander Volkanovski, I will definitely be upset. This is, I don't know. Wait, did Aiden Ross suggest MMA Guru and Dana White do a face-off? Let's see this. So apparently, I think that that's something that could happen, because obviously Aiden Ross has a good relationship with Dana White. But let's see. Actually, let's verify this. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe in latest. Let's see. Aiden Ross has invited on stream. MMA Guru wants to use this. Aiden Ross has invited him on stream. MMA Guru wants to use this to get closer to Dana White and eventually come face to face. Oh, I guess. So I guess someone said to have him on the stream, and he said that he wants to meet Dana White. So actually, so not exactly that he's going to meet Dana White or anything like that. So that was a bit of clickbait. MMA Guru should fight MMA Joey. He duck fighting me, the truth is. But y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all don't want to hear the truth. Y'all don't know the stories, don't you? Did you see what happened at the WWE event? I don't know. Let me see what happened at the WWE event. Did Drake really post Anthony Fantano? WWE. Yo, brother Jack, what up, Manny? What's up? I'm looking up what happened at the WWE event. Did something crazy happen? I don't know what the fuck. I don't know. What's up, Manny? Yeah, and are we going to talk about Neil Magny winning? Neil Magny apparently getting his black belt. Let's take a look. I don't want to see you hurt, bro. That's all. Hey, me hurt? What the hell are you talking about? You don't want to see me hurt? Why would I get hurt? All right, let's see. So apparently Neil Magny got his black belt.
Birthday cake right there? Oh, yeah. You know it.
Oh, yeah, it was his birthday, I think. Oh, look. Look, bro got his black belt, guys. Damn, guys. I'm trying to exit out, y'all. No, I know, guys. This is Neil Magny. He won today. I mean, I don't even understand, dude. Neil Magny is like 400 years old, apparently, or something like that. That's what I heard. He's like 1,000,000 years old, and this guy is still winning at fights, still managing to win, still managing to get these W's. I don't know. So, and this is, I also, let's take a look at also some of the schedule. First, let's see. Oh, wait, this is not what I wanted. Let's see this. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, I think this is fine. All right. Wild shit, man. I didn't know you go live like that. No, that's why I always say, guys, you guys got to hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe button, all of that. Like I said, I know a lot of people say, and you guys are like, bro, come on. Like, there's no way you're this desperate, bro. Like, come on. Like, don't, why are you down bad like that? I promise, guys, it isn't like that. It's just like, at the end of the day, my stuff will not get into your, you know, YouTube will easily fuck up, pull stuff out of the algorithm, you know what I mean? But if you actually press the notification bell, it lets YouTube know that you actually are interested in this stuff, and you also get notifications on top of that. So you'll get to know I go live and all that. So that's why you got to hit the notification bell. And also it helps to interact, helps me, and it helps you if you want to see the content. That's what I always say. Because I like to think, look, like I would assume you guys want to see, hopefully you guys want to see this. So if you guys do, here we are. But I also want to talk, 11 people ain't like the stream. What's going on? What do you mean 11 people ain't like the stream? What are you saying? That there ain't enough likes on here, bro? Guys, come on, deadass. You guys need to bring up the likes here. Deadass. If y'all like the stream numbers will probably double. Let's experiment. Let's see. So Fancy's on the sum. So Fancy's like a hype man. And also feel free, guys, hit in the link in the description, Discord server. Sometimes we go live with the Discord. We chat it up on the Discord. So feel free to, go there and all that. But I want to talk about this upcoming schedule. How am I feeling about this? We got Roman Dolidze versus Anthony Hernandez. Not bad. Not a bad main event, but at the Apex, I mean, come on, guys. We know this card's not going to be good. Thanks, Cam, W stream. Come on, W supporter. What do you call it? Then we got the pay-per-view, UFC 319. Everybody like and subscribe. Exactly. We're going to pin this, actually, now. Everybody like and subscribe, please. And also hit the notification bell. Remember. Hit the notification bell because that is also important. Let's see. UFC. Let's get to it. This is UFC 319 coming up, guys. We got the new co-main event, and that got announced pretty recently. This is the next event. This is the next pay-per-view, I should say. Dricus du Plessis, Khamzat Chimaev main event. And the new co-main event is something I haven't really talked about a lot, so I actually do want to take this opportunity to talk about Aaron Pico joining the UFC. This is Aaron Pico, for those of you guys that maybe aren't so familiar, because this is a UFC debut. So coming over from another promotion and all this. And getting a co-main event is pretty insane, I gotta say. Let's see, guys. Let me show you guys. So against Lerone Murphy, this was obviously short notice. This came around, I believe, personally, from what we've heard, it seemed like they were trying to do Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. I would have really liked that, and I felt like that was the move. But obviously, I feel like once Paddy Pimblett got into that cage with Ilia Topuria, he felt like probably if he sat out, there's a good chance he's just going to be gifted a title shot. And it's true, he might still be gifted a title shot, Paddy Pimblett, or Justin Gaethje might be. And I think Justin Gaethje also felt like, hey, there's a 50-50 chance. It could be me or Paddy, and maybe even more of a chance. I don't even know. I feel like it really is a 50-50 chance at the moment of who could get it. I feel like also Max Holloway has a big chance of getting it, just given his history, just given the fact that he just actually won and stuff like that. So given all those details, I feel like Max could get it. And also Max like I say, he just headlined a pay-per-view. So it makes all the sense in the world. The timing also makes sense. They both just fought at the same time. But I personally would not want to see a rematch between Max and Ilya. I think out of all those options, that's my least favorite. I'd honestly, at this point, rather see the Justin Gaethje fight. And I was someone at one point that said I did not want to see the Justin Gaethje fight. I was saying, look, let me go here. I said that at one point that I was telling you guys, I was like, I would be very upset if Justin Gaethje. I was going to rage. I think I even said I was going to delete the channel if Justin Gaethje got the title shot. But I've significantly calmed down. And to the fact that I actually have kind of sold myself that this fight, it wouldn't be the worst fight, just because I'm not a fan of Justin Gaethje at all, but I think the fight would be good. And I also think that Justin Gaethje would probably get knocked out, which I think would lead to an entertaining fight. So I'm fine with it. Let's see what the poll is at. 11 votes, guys. You guys are picking Ilya. So far, the number one, which I'm surprised. I'm curious to see. I'm curious, like, what it will be at the end, because I would have thought that Islam would have been the favorite. Probably is the betting favorite at this point, but at the same time, Ilya has done a whole bunch of stuff to prove himself. Like he's literally gone up against every challenge. Struggle to see Jack beating Islam. Sucks because I want JDM, obviously. Well, I just think, guys, it's the size. I mean, if we're talking about skill for skill, I think maybe that's a different conversation. And not even maybe, I would probably pick Islam. But we're not talking skill for skill. We're talking, what the actual fighting, given the specifics. I think that Islam Makhachev going up in weight, granted, to be fair, he did fight in January, but he was willing, and it was a done deal. It was a signed deal that he was going to fight Ilia Topuria June 28th if Belal had won. They were going to go through with that and announce it probably that night. Then say, yo, Islam is going to fight Ilya now because he's not going to move up because Belal, his friend, is still the champ. We've talked about this many a times. Obviously, we went super in-depth at the time. But that was all a done deal. So he was in lightweight shape. What would that be? 2 months ago. basically. 2 months ago, he was in enough shape to get into lightweight. So he's going to be what? I guess building up for this welterweight debut, this big debut to fight, a high-level guy who just beat Bilal, who defended a whole bunch of his takedowns, who has really good boxing, who is basically, praised by a whole bunch of Australian fighters as being really good. Like, there's a lot of hype around JDM, and I just think that Islam might be, I let me put it this way. I think I'm more confident, though, that JDM beats Islam than Ilya beats Islam. I don't know, though, at the same time, because I also am starting to believe Ilya can. I mean, how crazy would that be if Islam lost against Ilya, or he lost against JDM and then he lost against Ilya? Khamzat will get freaked up by Dricus, in my humble opinion. Yeah, I agree with that as well. I think that Dricus will knock him out. I think that Khamzat is going to try to take him down. I think Dricus is going to defend the takedowns and stuff like that. And I think the first round will be pretty close. I think, though, Khamzat will feel a little resistance from Dricus, get a little bit timid, maybe try to save some of his energy. And I think from there he might slow down. I think he's going to get hit. And then I think once he feels like, okay, I'm losing, I'm going to just go all at it, try to use all my energy, I think that's going to fail. And I think from there he's going to get himself caught with a knockout, or he's going to get himself caught with a submission. I've seen a lot of people predict submission. There's a lot of people saying submission. I think knockout, though. Dricus has the power to knock you out. I mean, he knocked out Robert Whittaker. It really hurt Robert Whittaker. He dropped and hurt multiple times Israel Adesanya. He's a dangerous guy. He's very dangerous. So I think for sure, Dricus is going to win. That's what I think. But I should put a poll for that because I'm also curious about that. But I also want to see. I want to keep going the Islam Ilya one. But I would be curious about that as well because Khamzat. I think Khamzat's going to try to maintain his cardio, but I think Khamzat with normal cardio, we've seen. Look at him against Usman when he slowed down. He's not even really a threat to Usman, and Usman was on short notice, had terrible knees. Bilal said people are underestimating Khamzat's cardio. What cardio? Yeah, underestimating. I mean, no, we're not underestimating it. The size is an issue for Islam against JDM, but size is an issue for Ilya against Islam. No, so the difference is that Islam is going wait, you're saying size is an issue for Islam against JDM, but size is an issue. Ilya has enough time to grow into the lightweight weight class. That's the problem. I mean, that's the thing. That's why I literally said, if you missed it in the stream, I said in the beginning, I said, if Islam would have fought Ilya June 28th, then Islam, I think, would have beat Ilya 1,000% because I don't think it's good moving up so fast. But if you're Ilya Taporia defending your title multiple times now, he won the title against Oliveira. I would assume he probably is going to fight someone before he fights Islam, if he does fight Islam at any point. I don't even know if he'll ever fight Islam. But I think that's a lot of time to grow into that frame, and he already was too big for featherweight. He literally had to move up a weight class because he couldn't make the weight class below. He is a big lightweight already, and I think now that he has time to settle in, it makes him even more dangerous. That's a lot different than Islam Makhachev literally 2 months ago, literally fighting at lightweight, and now in what is this? In literally 3 months' time now, he is going to fight at welterweight. That's a completely different thing. Completely. My chat didn't go through cum slut. What the hell? When are you gonna make the push for the UFC? Are you saying me in the UFC? If you mean me in the UFC, I fight what I'm worth. So I'm waiting for an offer. Let's put it that way. How do you get exp in the chat? I'm trying to grind. What do you mean exp? XP? I think you just got to keep typing. You know what I'm saying? I got top. What are the top fans? Right now the top one is Shiv. Real eyes. And I don't know who the full username for that is. But, that's Camilo. That's Cam. I forgot, so that's Camilo. Holy fake. But yeah, no, so you got to just keep typing in the chat, and that's good for me. Keep typing and all that, and share if you can. Why not? Yeah, though, look. So this is UFC 319. As we were just talking about Dricus and Khamzat. And I hope that Kamal does respond because I'm just still confused about that. But I'm the biggest fan. So fuck. If you're the biggest fan, you gotta grind up. You gotta be Shiv. Shiv ain't no biggest fan. You boring, bro. Come on. Dricus versus Hamza. Good main event. Co-main event. I mean, this wasn't, I think, the greatest co-main event. The card, I actually dig this fight. This fight I like, but I'm a sucker for Michael Venom Page, and I know I'm blocking the fight now. Like, I know I'm blocking the picture for Michael Venom Page, but here, I guess that's probably better. You just have to spam in the chat. Yeah, exactly. Spam in the chat, but be respectful, because then you're gonna get blocked, and not by me, but by YouTube or whatever, or maybe even by my mods, maybe by Camille. Maybe Camille will do the hard work. You know, Camilo's banned people in the chat before. He's a tough guy. You know, Shiv's a little more lenient. You just have to let's see. Oh no, we were talking about this fight. I thought I was just reading the chat. No, yeah, I like this fight. I just saw that Jared Cannonier, I almost said Jared Gordon, but Jared Cannonier was complaining, or not complaining, but he said he wasn't that interested in the fight simply because Michael Venom Page isn't a middleweight. To be fair, he fought his last fight at middleweight, and that was against Shara Bullet, and he won. I think he's gonna win against Jared. You know, I've seen a lot of, I mean, they're both now up there in age, but I think Michael Venom Page, he's longer, he's fast. He hasn't really taken so much damage in his career because his defense is just really good. And we see that with Wonderboy as well. Wonderboy, you know, he looked really good in his last fight. He lost, but it was a really close fight. Who did he fight in his last fight? But it was really impressive that he actually did so well. But same thing with Michael Venom Page. I feel like Jared Cannonier, he looks slow. Jared Cannonier, I think the thing is, though, he has power. If he hits Michael Venom Page, if Michael Venom Page is slowed down and Michael Venom Page starts to get washed, I think that is where he's going to fall, because his style definitely relies on his explosiveness, his athleticism. Like, he needs to be fast. He needs to focus on his eyesight. His eye-hand coordination needs that, because, you know, as you know, he literally doesn't fight with his hands up. He literally fights like a karate-style bouncing. So, you know, if he's going to try to, like, outpoint Jared Cannonier, that's going to be, you know, I think he could do it, though. I think he can. And like I said, I actually do like the co-main event. Jeff Neal, Carlos Pratas is a great fight. That fight was supposed to happen, got canceled, and Carlos Pratas fought Ian Gary, where he lost for the first time in the UFC. So this is his comeback. Jeff Neal also coming back as well. Jeff Neal, what was his last fight? What was his last fight again, guys? Was it against Ian Gary, really? No, Rafael Dos Anjos, and he won in the first round. Right. Yeah, he actually did really good in that fight. So long time off for Jeff Neal. Tim Elliott, Kaya Sakura. I actually like this fight. Kaya Sakura coming back after he lost to Pantoja. Oh look, Bobby Green versus Diego Ferreira, or King Green, as he now is called. Gerald Mercer versus Michael Olenichik. That's exactly how you say it, guys. Don't question me. Jessica Andrade versus Luby Godinez. This is actually, I fuck with this card. This is actually a pretty good card. I'm actually really hyped for this now. Yo, what? This is actually an insane card. How is nobody talking about this? You open up the card. I actually like Karine Silva. I know a lot of people shit on women's MMA, but Karine Silva, I think, is one of the best in women's MMA right now, for sure. I think her finishes are really good. And I got to get closer to this microphone, but I think her finishes are really good. And yeah, I think that's going to be a good fight. Brian Battle, I think Brian Battle's coming off of a loss, right? Where he missed weight, right? Then he like missed weight and all that shit against, Randy Brown. Yeah, he really fucked up. Oh no, he won his last fight, but it was like a robbery where everyone he didn't really win his last fight. Edson Barboza, Drakkar Close. I mean, what? This is the early prelims, and he gets to the prelims. Oh, there's more fights. Chase Hooper versus Alexander Hernandez. Wow, I'm a watch. This is an insane card, guys. What? Wow, how did this like fall under the rug? This is a great card. And then you got Chase Hooper, Alexander Hernandez, Jessica Andrade, Luby Godinez. Another good fighter in women's MMA, has, you know, lost definitely recently, but had a good year in 2020. What are we in 2025? So 2023 or 4. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was 2020. I think it was last year that she had like a lot of wins or something like that. Jorel Mearshart. This is a good fight too. Versus Michael Olenchuk. King Green versus Diego Ferreira. And yeah, we already went through this now. Yeah, crazy card, and that's pretty much it. Wait, what is this? How the hell did I get to this? May? Dude, that feels like a lifetime ago. That fight felt like a lifetime ago. I seriously was like, was I last year? I totally forgot the fight even happened. But yeah, guys, make sure to vote on the Ilya Islam thing. I still want to know what you guys think, because I will be ending that poll soon. So I want to hear the final thoughts. And we'll end it off and talk about the poll. Nasruddin Imavov. This is I'm really excited about. This got announced. Benoit Saint-Denis versus against Ruffy, right? Marcus. What's his name? Ruffy. What's his actual name? I just call him Ruffy. Let's see. Is it actually just Marcus Ruffy? No. Was it? Oh, it's I guess the card before. I think it was 313. This was when he fought. Yeah, Bobby Green. Yeah, Mauricio Ruffy. Yeah, not Marcus. Mauricio Ruffy. So yeah, he's apparently going to fight Benoit Saint-Denis. That's a really dope fight. I always like watching him fight. He's got that crazy bladed stance as well. And yeah, we're eating good as MMA fans. I think at the end of this year we got some stack cards. I think the New York card. I'm a try. I don't know. I might pop out to that one. I really don't know. I doubt it. Just given like the last few actual like prices. I mean, they're insane. Not worth the actual prices that they're giving. Is this really the main event? This actually might be the main event. So prepare to cry. That looks like a terrible main event. Yeah. So I want to talk about though the poll real quick. It's a while away, and I'm not insinuating anything at all. But if Gon beats Aspinall, you'll never see me again. Yeah. If Gon beats Aspinall, I will absolutely be upset. Because I just know that it's going to be preceded by John Jones. You have a point there. Yeah, it's going to be preceded. Oh, I think it meant about the main events. Like Kamal's been like Kamal. I love Kamal, man, because Kamal, you know, he keeps me in check. Like he's just like, this is wrong, but he's still here. You know what I mean? Kamal's got to join the Discord to give more of his thoughts. I said Gon beats Aspinall. If he beat Aspinall, I would be just so angry because I know the millisecond John Jones is hopping on Twitter. I mean, seriously, and I would feel just horrible for Tom because Tom doesn't deserve that, man. If Tom was anybody else, I mean, dude, like John is lucky it's nobody else. John is lucky this isn't like any other normal person because Tom Aspinall just doesn't want to cause drama. So, or he's just such a nice guy in general. Like, he's just like letting it slide. Like, oh, like it's just a people pleaser. Just, I think, trying to make the UFC's lives easier, trying to make everyone's lives easier. Like, the UFC disrespected him, slapped him in the face, guys, when they announced that John Jones retired and didn't call him beforehand. Tom Aspinall was waiting 2 years for this fight, saying he had his career on the sidelines for a year. I know he fought that one interim title defense, but that obviously wasn't the fight that he wanted. That's literally a side fight. He should have been fighting for the undisputed title. So he literally waited like over a year. I mean, pretty much 2 years, let's just call it. I mean, yeah, he waited 2 years to fight for the undisputed title. We're finally getting it in October. It'll be literally a couple weeks, like 2 weeks or so since a year that he won his, or 2 years since he won his title. Literally on the 2 year anniversary of this one, they won his interim title. It's ridiculous. But what do you call it? So it's just, he's been through so much shit. And if he really loses to Cyril Gane, I mean, the fact that he put his career on hold, and if he loses to Cyril Gane, guys, I mean, at the end of the day, it's possible because look, it's MMA. I mean, Cyril Gane's a big ass guy. Like, I think Tom Aspinall is really good, and I think he's going to be Cyril Gane, absolutely. But at the end of the day, these are two really big guys, and anything could happen. So, I mean, it's really sad if it did happen. If, you know, Aspinall turns this way instead of that way and gets hit with a fucking hook and gets knocked out cold. It really could happen. It's fucking MMA, and Cyril Gane is a good striker. He's got good head kicks and all that. Yo, what's up, Isaac? I think this is the first time I've seen Isaac in the live. To be fair, I think he retired way before that, and Dana was trying to get him back. Yeah, he definitely was, but I mean, I think that at the same time, there definitely was. I mean, look, at a certain point, it definitely was the UFC's fault, but John did agree at one point, and John did drag us along at a certain point. Like, John, there definitely was times where he was dragging us along. And he definitely could have called it out earlier, you know what I'm saying, and vacated his title. Or he could have just tweeted out and said, hey, I'm retired. Like, instead of playing this game, oh, there's an announcement coming soon, this and that. Like, just don't say anything at all, you know? Let's see. It felt like Aspinall was always alluding to that. Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, at a certain point, I think definitely, like, he asked, I think the UFC straight up, hey, did he retire? And I think the UFC weren't going to lie at that point. So I think, yeah, I think that I agree with you. That happened. The Duck should get fined for what he did to Tom's career. He should, but I don't know under what grounds. But yeah, I think he should be put to death for what he did to Tom's career and also what he's just done in general. That is a joke, guys. Don't worry. I'm not actually saying that John should die, but possible, yes, but in actuality, impossible. I don't know if you mean like the fine, but yeah, Aspinall will reign 5 years undisputed. I believe so as well. And I see Isaac putting in the little wink. What's up, my man? Guys, yeah, I think that I've said for a while, I think that Tom could go down. It's not just, and I've said this before, and I said it about Islam. So I think that's the only other time I said this. I didn't even say it about Ilya. I said it about Islam, that I think Tom potentially, now this I'm not going to say as strong, he could be the GOAT at the end. Now, it's a little bit hard because I feel like heavyweight right now doesn't have the amount of fighters that it should. So will he get the respect that he deserves? Ultimately, we will see. But I believe he potentially could go down as one of the greatest of all time. I think definitely the greatest heavyweight of all time. Let's see. Interfering with wages is a lawsuit. To be fair, it would be hard, but maybe a case. Yeah, but I think, to be fair, I mean, I don't know. I think that there definitely would not. I think John Jones would definitely beat that case for sure. Because at the end of the day, I think the UFC have offered him other fights. You know what I'm saying? And Tom Aspinall has actually said this, that they've offered him other fights because contractually they're supposed to. So he's not actually interfering with his work. You know what I'm saying? Like, John has a right not to fight him legally, you know, but so that doesn't have anything to do with it. But if he was getting paid nothing, I think he would probably be able to sue the UFC, but not John. Like if he got offered no fights. Magomed is going to knock Alchbar out cold in 4th of October. Count your days. I mean, I could see it. I mean, realistically, like, I think that Pereira, he got rocked in that second round. I think it's possible. I think Magomed, but I honestly think that I'm going to go with Pereira. I honestly think Pereira is going to win just because I think Pereira looked good in the last one. I think Pereira is going to come in with more confidence, and I think that he will knock out Magomed. That's my prediction. Big Onk, but I'm a Big Onk going to look like Dead Onk. And look, I'm a big fan of Big Onk. I've said, look, I like the Big Onk persona. I love Big Onk. I think Big Onk is hilarious. I love the Big Onk persona. I've been the number one guy. I've been saying this. I said at UFC 313 Fight Week, I was saying, yo, this shit's growing on me. And I mean it, guys. Look, I'm not going to just hop on the hate. It's growing on me. I like Big Onk. I love the Twitter. I know his Twitter probably isn't him. I know it's probably his manager. But the Big Onk shit, I think, is always fucking hilarious. I like it. Let me also try to move this poll, just so you guys can see the chat a little more. Profeek says, El Matador is scared of Tsarukian. Blood rather vacate than defend against the number one contender. I'm sure he will fight him. I don't think he's actually going to vacate. Like, I'm sure if Ilya said that, guys, we've talked about this in the past. Do not trust anything Ilya says. I mean, I know there was that time that we didn't trust Ilya saying that he was going to move up to lightweight, and then he actually did. But outside of that, this guy talks so much shit. He said he wasn't going to fight Max Holloway. He did. He said he wasn't going to give the rematch to Volkanovski. He was on the verge of doing so. I mean, he says this all the time. He said he wasn't going to fight Justin Gaethje at one point. He said that he would now. He changes his mind here and there. Oh, Isaac is the number one person here now. I don't even know how that happened. But let's see. Armin hurt his back gooning for Nina. I actually do think that's probably how he broke his back. The fine should get called the DF Duck Fine. The DF Duck Fine. Oh my God, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, look, I think that he should get thrown in jail for the ducking. I think that he should be mocked probably for the rest of his life for ducking Tom Aspinall. Like I said, I think it comes down to the attitude. If John Jones was here, like, I'm old, I can't hang with these young guys. Tom, he deserves it. Fine, like, I understand. You don't have to fight everybody, but to act here and sit here as John to say, like, oh, Tom's an asshole, he doesn't deserve this, blah, blah, blah. You're kidding yourself, dude, and you're a clown. And that's why no one respects what you're saying, because you're just not even giving us the respect of our intelligence. Do you really think we're that stupid that we're, like that's the thing is, it makes me really angry, to be honest, the fact that, like, John just, like, why should we give John respect? He's not giving us the respect of telling us the truth. You know what I'm saying? So fuck him. You know what I'm saying? I will call him a duck. He's not fucking respecting our time and respecting us as fans. If you don't want to say anything, don't say anything. But if you're going to lie to us, that gets disrespect. Am I crazy here? If someone's going to fucking lie to you over and over again, whoever it is, would you respect the word? Would you respect them? Would you start to think that maybe the worst of them? Probably. So, I don't know, guys. Patty and Justin, totally harder fights than Armin. You think so? Patty are totally harder fight. I don't know. I don't think so. You think Patty and Justin are harder than Armin? I don't think so. He's harder for sure. Who is harder? Armin, I think you mean. He was going to call out Armin in his after-fight interview, but Joe Rogan has CE and said Patty, CTE. Oh my God. Yeah, honestly, right? Like it's so funny. But at the same time, yeah, because it's crazy because obviously the UFC were not happy with Patty going into the octagon. So that really must have been Joe Rogan on his own bringing it up. So what the hell? Does he live in 2022? I think the Chama guy hype is over. Ankh had him confused in the cage. Look, I think it's easy to say that now because, obviously, Pereira, he hasn't really been active. But I think to act like, his skill just disappeared because he's been inactive on social media, he hasn't been as poppin' as he was last year, that's not true. I see that Profik, you retracted your message, so I'm curious to see if, I guess you probably meant that Armin, I would assume is what you meant, because, yeah, that would probably make more sense. Magomed is most, because you said, because you said about the ducking already. Magomed is the most versatile fighter in lightweight division, or light heavyweight division. You don't know whether it's going to be boxer Ankh or wrestler Ankh. No. Yeah, and I agree. I think that he's definitely going to cause a lot of problems. I talked about this recently. Somebody said, does he have the ability to be the GOAT of that weight class? Not of all time, but the GOAT of the lightweight division. And I don't think so. I think, first of all, you got two big tasks of beating John Jones's records and Daniel Cormier's records. Daniel Cormier also very good. If it wasn't for John Jones, he probably would have dominated and be considered one of the best of all time himself. So, I mean, just the fact that you have those two there, that's hard enough. But I think if Magomed Ankalaev was young, I would say don't count him out. He's really good, and he has the skill. However, Magomed Ankalaev, I don't know. Let me see how old he is. But I believe I think he's over 35. And, I mean, at this rate, if he's going to fight twice a year, I mean, how many more years does he realistically have? Although he is 33, that is pretty young. I mean, I don't know. He does got some time. I mean, look, if he fights 3 years, that's 6 fights. Is that enough? I mean, it really depends. If he beats Pereira twice, that's pretty big. If he fights Yuri, I mean, that's pretty big. If he fights, I guess he's probably going to fight Kulo's going to fight Yuri, so it depends on who wins that fight. Probably, who else is there really at the top? I mean, Carlos Ulberg, there's a lot of hype about him. Maybe he eventually will go to the top. There's a lot of people, so a lot of good names and good opportunities for him. But will he be the GOAT? I don't know. We'll see. We'll definitely see. It definitely matters on how he looks against Pereira. Let's see. John was clearly going to retire after he was to fight Stipe the first time, which is why he was so against the idea of Tom, because he thought he'd be out of here by the time. Still should have fought him. He's the same age as DC when those fought. It's just respect to the sport. And I absolutely agree. And I think I saw someone say online, it's like, do you really give someone the respect of, I think this is definitely a really interesting way to look at it. And I've said this before, and we've had this conversation of, is John Jones's legacy ruined from the whole, Tom ducking situation? I don't know if it's necessarily that it's, that his legacy is ruined. No, it definitely is. My point is that his legacy is ruined, but not in the way that you guys look at it. What does that have to do with his past fights? Yes, he did amazing things, but when you look at legacy, you have, you start off when you're in the beginning. If you think about it, we all kind of play by the same rules. In the beginning, you're growing, so we don't look at that part, so harshly. That's you growing, that you making the mistakes. Look at Charles Oliveira, look at his beginning. You know what I'm saying? He had a long beginning before he was lightweight champion. John didn't really have that problem. He always had a good, he was undefeated, but then you got your prime. Then you got your washed era where you're fighting new talent. And what separates the GOATs from other fighters, from fighters that, fall off, is the ability to take on that new competition. And the question is, do you guys think that John Jones did that enough? That is an intricate part, in my opinion, to be the greatest of all time. And that is what affects his legacy, is he is missing that aspect. Okay, so let's see the people he did fight. Really, Dominic Reyes. I mean, look how that fight went. I mean, seriously, we just did a video on it on Friday. It came out, so you guys go check that out. Let's see. You agree Magomed is You agree? Wait, let me see. Actually, I think I missed first. Still show. Oh no. Okay. You agree Magomed is the man, but you still pick Poatan. Why? So my opinion is this. I think that Magomed Ankalaev. Going into the last fight, I felt like Magomed could win. I was very 50-50. This time I'm more confident, though, that Pereira will win after watching that first fight because I think Pereira showed, first of all, a big concern for me going into the last fight was could Magomed Ankalaev go in there, take him down right away, and maul him? That was genuinely a concern of mine because while Magomed doesn't usually do that, and I understand that, and everybody said that in the chat, that he did that or something like that, what do you call it? Like that he could just that he doesn't usually go out there and, wrestle people, this and that. You never know. This is against Pereira, a high level kickboxer that can knock you out at any point. I would assume you're probably going to change up your game plan, right? So that I was more confident. I'm more confident now because seeing that fight, that didn't happen. Magomed Ankalaev didn't really even try to take down Pereira. And I think now that Pereira knows that, I think Pereira is going to press harder. And at the end of the day, styles make fights. I think Pereira is really good. I think for you to say you agree Magomed is the man, but still pick Poatan, why? Pereira isn't a bum. You know what I'm saying? It's like I said, oh, Magomed is the man, but I think he's going to lose to, Jamal Hill. You know what I'm saying? That I would understand. But we're talking about Pereira, a guy who was a double champion. He had a very close fight. Let's not act like that last fight was razor close. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I could agree Magomed is good, and Magomed, I think Magomed would, I don't know. I'm curious to see. What do you guys think? I wonder what he would look against Yuri. That's a real good one. But I do think Armin needs to fight again before he gets another title shot. The guy is already a rich kid that gets what he wants. He shouldn't sit out and get a title shot because he's whining. Well, that is not why I don't think look, I think we could all pretty much agree that, not all agree, but it's pretty much all accepted amongst the MMA community at this point that Armin Tsarukyan didn't necessarily have an injury, but it was more about the fact that he probably couldn't make weight. Dana White has said this recently. So I think it's more about that. And if it is about that, I think you should get passed up, and that is whining. But if he really did get an injury and it was really a freak thing, I am totally okay with him getting another title shot. And I don't think that's whining. I think that's fair to want a title shot. And Profik, I don't know why your messages keep retracting. Is there a way I could fix this? I don't know if Ahmad is doing it or something. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what's going on with your chats, but good luck. I don't know. I'll try to keep on the look. I'm curious. I don't know what you said. Let's see. Okay. In my opinion, I think that's what it is, right? Oh yeah. In my opinion, his legacy is cheating for his entire career. When he got off them, he lost to Reyes. His legacy is fake to me, and that's a fair opinion. That's absolutely fair, and I think, look, that's what a lot of people have, and you can't even point to, well, he was older and defended himself later on. What's up, John Dong? I see he's here. Let's see. Ankh is the favorite, but the Pereira definitely needed this long break, and will probably help him be better in this rematch. His long break. Yeah, and that's a good point too, Kamal. That's actually a really good point that you bring up. I think the break, consider the fact that Pereira was so active. He fought in October, and then went immediately to March, but then also that year had a whole lot of, activity there. So, you know what I'm saying? He was so active that year. Now he had a long break, long recovery. Maybe go out there and, be happy. I'm happy. Thank you. Shout out. Remember, guys, to vote on the poll. The poll now is 50-50. Wow, a shocking turn in events. Ilya was a favorite pretty much all night. Now it's 50-50. Wow. So keep voting on that. We'll see what it is at the end of the night. Let's see. No, he ducked all of his fights where he would have been a relative stalemate in terms of size and skill. And that's facts. Yeah, you can't deny that. Yeah, Pereira got quite close a few times. That would have ended the fight right there. Doesn't change what happened, but could this time it wasn't a washout. Yeah, exactly. And to say we shouldn't be picking Pereira or that Pereira has no chance is ridiculous. Catch up. I don't know what the catch up was. Oh, look, so Fancy got the number one that he was grinding for. It looks like. Jong Dong says, what's up? What's up, Jong Dong, my man? Oh, look, Profik's here. Alex too has the same energy as Merab Rashawn too. people, I'm doing this because his messages keep getting deleted. That's why I'm just going right away. People picking Sean and Alex because puncher's chance. That is not puncher's chance. I mean, that is not at all what the case is. It's not puncher's chance because we saw against Sean O'Malley get taken down multiple times and get dominated multiple rounds. This is not the same case. This is a fight that literally was like 3-2. I think one judge ordered 4-1, but let's be real, it was 3-2. Pereira had a lot of success. Pereira now knows how to fight Nurmagomedov. This is a completely different fight. This isn't just, Pereira might get lucky. No, Pereira actually could defend the takedowns clearly. Clearly, Nurmagomedov intends to stand more with Pereira. Clearly, Pereira stands a huge chance. Like, this is not at all the same thing. Like to act like the first Pereira-Nurmagomedov fight was anything like the Sean O'Malley fight, it doesn't make sense. Sean was always going to lose to Merab, exactly. Let's see. Pereira... let's see. Yeah, but where did the injury come from? Was he being stupid before the fight and caused it? Why Dana was so mad? Oh, the Armin thing? I think he missed weight, to be honest. Pereira gonna knock out gonna get, I don't know if you mean knocked out this time. It's possible. It is possible. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's possible. Pereira is getting older. He's 38. I'm looking at his age right here. He's 38. He's, a lot richer. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, maybe he does. But I think Pereira might win. I'm leaning towards Pereira, but we'll see. I know that the hype it doesn't feel Pereira will win just because Pereira has been inactive. The aura is a little bit gone, and it feels like he has fallen off. But I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. That's my opinion. I'm happy. Thank you. Alex looks huge right now. The time off and size can help. Yeah. And yeah, no, he looks really huge. And I mean, I think that's going to help him too. And I'm sure that's on purpose for, the grappling we talked about before with JDM and Islam, the size playing a factor there. Dana White Lang, I don't know what that means. Magomed, we talked about this already. That's what the catch up was for LMAO. Some reason my mother message didn't go through. My other message, I think you mean to say. I see. I think Shama lost a lot when Ankh took the title. Shama past prime and can't fight on the ground. Guys, this was one fight and it was so close. Like, I understand. I feel like we're so quick to be like, oh, fell off. Like, I understand if this was a performance, like I said, like I was just saying, if it was equal to the Sean O'Malley Merab performance, I would get these conversations. But it's like, dude, he was really close. Like, I feel like he could have sneezed a knockdown in, like, a little, like, maybe an off-balance knockdown that really wouldn't even have hurt Magomed that much. That could have changed the fight. Like, that literally could have gone Pereira's way if that would have happened. Like, we're talking very, very, very close. Let's see, and I'm going to end this in a little bit. I think Sean was always going to lose to Merab. I agree. I think he was just being quiet and grinding, as has been said. Alex was active in the cage, but also out of it a lot, TBH. Yeah, and that's what I mean. I think Pereira was playing it safe, worried that he was going to get controlled, very conscious, I got to defend the takedowns. I think this time he's going to go in with a lot better of a game plan. Well, I think he's just going to press. I think he's going to be a lot more confident. Pereira, old man, he get injured in this fight, or in these fights, I think you mean to say. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Look, I'm not here saying definitively Pereira's going to win. Like, I'm not 1,000% confident, but I think to act like, I will say I just think it's ridiculous to act like, this is a clear one-sided fight. Alex versus Ankh was 3-2, but the UFC could have robbed Ankh, and worse things could have happened. Exactly. I guess, I don't really agree with the UFC, like, robbery. In all seriousness, if we're going to be dead ass, I don't necessarily agree, actually, that the UFC does like rig fights. I don't think they actually have. I think it's just, I've seen some people speculate, like, I think it really comes down to this, like, judges at the end of the day, like, they hear things, like, they're going to have bias beforehand, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe they hear the name Alex Pereira, and in their head, just because Pereira has a bigger name, his shots maybe have more impact because they have a bias in their mind, a confirmation bias while watching it. I think that's what it is, and that's why I think a lot of times it does favor the superstars, because typically they're the ones on all the posters. Typically they're the ones getting the most attention. Typically they're the ones literally probably above the screen, like when the judges are looking up. You know what I'm saying? They're on the posters. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I think typically we see the superstars win. I know probably a lot of people aren't going to like that answer, and people are going to be like, oh, that's not cool, or, I don't agree. And I see So Fancy joined the Discord server. Welcome, So Fancy. I'm glad you joined. What's up? let's see. I think he's let's see, Alex. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it could have been a robbery. Judge needed replays in slow motion that gets relayed to them, but also they hear a crowd, and typically the crowd has a bias, and that's true too. And that's another thing, and that's what I mean. Like, note that what do you call it? I'm gonna get to that next one because that's crazy. That next one, NAFA. I don't agree with that at all, but I'm gonna get into that in a second. But yeah, I think the replays and the slow motion is a great point. I don't know why they don't have that. Actually, that actually would be a great point if they could say, even if they could tell somebody like a commissioner on the side, hey, can we get a replay of that? That was really close. That was a close round. We want to see if that was a knockdown or a slip. That would help a lot. But that is a lot of work, I will say. But and not all. Keep in mind, like if you're a smaller, it works for the UFC, but if you're a smaller promotion, it might be a little bit harder to do. Let's see. Did the Perth Fight Night card get announced? Let's see. Let me see. NAFA says not this close, bro. So I assume you're saying that the first fight with Pereira and Magomed was not that close. It was. I mean, that's just not true. Like, look at the scorecard. Look at people talking about the fight. Like, if people are split on a fight, then the fight's close. You know what I'm saying? That's just fact. You know what I'm saying? You can't deny it. Like, if there's a split opinion, then it's close. Even if you feel like, oh, no, your guy won or whatever, like, what is this card? It's the Oberg Reyes. I actually like that main event, but yeah, I think to go to it, that is a bit much. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know if I would go to it. Alex is slow, vulnerable to straight punches, while Magomed has fast, straight punches, and combine that with a takedown threat, Alex can never beat Magomed, and that is absolutely true, Profik. Like, that is literally what the game plan would be. But what I'm saying, and that's what we saw in the first fight, the game plan would be to feint, throw the straights, get Pereira, guessing on the takedowns, get him ready to defend and not to attack. However, my thing is this. I think that Pereira is going to go in. I think he's going to press a lot more, saying, hey, Magomed doesn't want to grapple as much. Maybe it's because Magomed's bigger, and maybe he can't grapple as long. Maybe his cardio can't go 5 rounds grappling, and that's why he doesn't want to grapple early. He likes to stand a little bit, catch his breath. I don't know. That's just speculation. I don't know if that's actually the reason. I'm just speculating here. Anyway, what do you call it? What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, so Alex Pereira, I feel like he's going to press, and that's going to make it a lot harder for Magomed to take down Pereira because he's going to be going backwards on the back foot. It's going to be hard for him to actually get the momentum, and I feel like Pereira can catch him. Pereira has vicious knockout power. It really just takes one shot, so it really just takes one mess up from Magomed, and if Pereira is the one pressing, if he has the confidence from that first fight and says, hey, I could do this, I could handle this, I could defend the takedowns, that is my opinion. I think he can knock out Magomed, but very close. I could also see, like I said, I could also see Magomed knocking out Pereira, but that's how I see it. That is how I see the fight at this very moment, though I might pick Magomed. This isn't me saying I'm going to pick Pereira. I'm just saying I'm leaning towards it, though, for sure. Like, I'm more confident than I was last time. Seeing how shit the Perth car fight... Oh, yeah, I just looked at it. My point was more along the lines of, had the judges gave it to Alex, the community wouldn't be outraged. Oh, yeah, people are closer than people thought or now remember. Oh, okay, yeah, that's absolutely a good point. And I didn't even realize you were making that point, but that's a great point to bring up, actually. So I'm sad that I didn't get that. But, yeah, that is a great point. Yeah, exactly. If the judges would have given it to Alex, it's not like we would be saying robbery. I would also come on the channel and say, hey, it was a close fight. Magomed could have easily won that fight. And I think a lot of people probably would have more likely said robbery because, let's be honest, Pereira wins. We're going to scream robbery because Pereira is the bigger guy, is the more famous guy. So it makes more sense that he would the UFC or whatever, the athletic commission, whatever you want to say, would rob it for Pereira. It would make more sense, right? So I actually think there'd be probably more outrage if Pereira won. But not from like actually the fight's perspective of like Pereira, you know what I'm saying, of like Pereira winning, you know what I'm saying? I think that just people would be more biased. Let's see. I agree with you, Profik. Ivac says, facts, they can do it in between rounds or at the end of the fight. Both is ideal. Yeah, especially if like a big moment happens, it would be great if you could request it. Or even, I mean, is it really that hard? Like, think about it like this. Like, if you have like a stream, but at the same time, like if you're reversing, you're not watching what's happening right now. So maybe that could be a problem. I don't know. Facts. See the other promotions There are other promotions in UFC. What do you mean? Like I'm saying, okay, I should have been more clear on that. But like what I'm saying is, think about it like this. Let's say you're New York State. There's tons of little MMA promotions that have nothing to do with the UFC that are, having literally shows. What I'm talking like 60 people to 100 people. You know what I'm saying? That are like the smallest of shows. It's going to be a lot harder to get instant replay for that when they might not even be filming their event. I mean, they might have shit ass cameras at their event. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like, cheap events. You know what I'm saying? Ivac says, I joined a bit late. Have we talked about DDP yet or not on this stream? No, we actually did talk about DDP a lot. We actually talked about Khamzat, and I actually broke down the card a little bit ago. I'll show you a little bit what we were talking about here. We're talking about, this is UFC 319 that's happening next month. We talked about the co-main event in this card, but like I said, my prediction, I think Drekus is going to knock out Khamzat. I've said before, I think Khamzat, my prediction, I talked about this when I said it before, just give a brief overview for you. I thought that I think that Khamzat is going to try to take down Drekus, see it's hard, be a little bit slow. I think Drekus is going to get some punches off. I think Khamzat will feel danger at some point, go for the takedown, panic, and I think from there, that is when Du Plessis will get a submission or knock him out. I think a knockout. That is my prediction. I know a lot of people say submission. I think knockout. Let's see. You should be advocating for Khamzat's skills more, bro. Khamzat has skills, but what I think is I mean, look, he really impressed me against Robert Whittaker, and I was shocked. I really said that I was super confident that Robert Whittaker was going to be Khamzat. I was super shocked to see it happen that fast, but I think that Khamzat Chimaev, look, he has great strength, clearly, and he's a danger in the first round, but he clearly does not have the cardio to go so many rounds, and I don't know if that's why he just explodes. Maybe he figures, hey, it's better to go all in one than to just lose a decision because, I might as well go all in one than be mid the whole fight. Might as well be great for 5 minutes than be mid the whole fight. I'm not saying that he would be mid the whole fight per se, but I'm just saying maybe that's just how he feels. Look how his fights have been. Look at the fight with Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman was on short notice. Look at the fight with Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns, I think, at the time was good, and now he's obviously fallen off, but I think at the time he was good, but still, this isn't someone that, he's 14-0. He isn't, let's be real. Let me look at his actual resume. I'm about to sneeze. Hold up, guys. The best win, Robert Whittaker, shocking, and I think that's a great name to have. Obviously, though, now RDR has beaten Robert Whittaker, so I don't know how well that really does for him. He beat Usman. Okay. Beat Kevin Holland. Okay. Beat Gilbert Burns. Okay. 2022. We're getting to 2021. Beat Li Jing Liang. So, I think to say, I'm not giving, Khamzat a fair chance is what do you mean? What am I supposed to judge off? I'm saying the best, I should take, look, Robert Whittaker, I'll say is fair, but it's that's one name, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think, come on, I don't think he's really shown us too much. I think that he's good. He's good in the first round. We've seen clearly he's a fucking strong grappler. He's a great grappler, but I don't think I'm underselling him. Too many punches either don't actually get hit or hit more than expected, and the judges can't even tell, so they don't even get the full picture. That's true, but I think honestly, judging in MMA is definitely overblown as bad. There's definitely bad mistakes, absolutely. But it's going to happen. It's human error. But I think that most of the time, more often than not, I think we're blessed to see that. Usually the decisions are good. Let's see. I want to make sure I answer all you guys. I see the chat's really popping right now. Too many. Okay, no, we read that. What are Prime Dillashaw's chances against Merab? This is interesting. I've seen, but I would probably go with Merab. I've seen this question before, so that's why I'm able to answer it right away. I thought about this. I think Merab. I think Dillashaw is good, and he definitely is very well-rounded. I was curious to see the Aljamain and Dillashaw fight at the time. Obviously, Dillashaw showed up that fight with one shoulder, so we never really actually got to see what that would look like accurately. But I think, Merab, I think will go down as probably one of the greatest bantamweights of all time when it's said and done. He is unstoppable. Magomed is a good counter-striker. Alex marching forward is a treat for Magomed. Well, the thing is, though, we've seen him march forward, and it doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to, throw punches, especially when it's that southpaw, orthodox position that now they're going to be in. Obviously, Magomed being a southpaw, Pereira being orthodox. We're going to see Pereira, playing with the lead hand, feinting, throwing jabs to the body. He's going to be very careful. To say, oh, he's a counter striker. I get he's a counter striker. I'm not trying to undersell Magomed here, but, let's not act like, Pereira, can't handle it. Pereira's, Pereira could get caught, absolutely, and especially when you mix in the takedown aspect, that is why I think he could get knocked out. I think because maybe, Magomed does feint for a takedown, he doesn't expect to get hit up top, and they're big guys at the end of the day. They could be heavyweights, both of them. Let's see, how would Prime Dillashaw versus Jan go? That's interesting. I think Jan via a decision, but I think that TJ will do good early. I ran it, but maybe he wins. I don't know. Maybe mixing it up would confuse Peter Yan, because I feel like that's usually when he struggles, when you're able to mix it up. So I ran into DDP today. Oh, that's crazy. That's actually insane if you're being for real. That's dope. You got to tell me more about that. Bro, I'm telling you, not a good idea to fade Hamzat's game plan. What do you mean to fade Hamzat? You mean to underestimate it, I guess? I see you typed here, so I'll respond there. Petr Yan is the uncrowned bantamweight GOAT. I don't know about that. The 10th MMA. I'm from his country. I've never met him. Oh, because of DDP. So fancy. Hamzat would have lost to Usman if it was round 5. Yeah, I think so too. Exactly. Hamzat has an amazing foundation. He is 100% capable to win 3 rounds for a decision fight. Tristan, it says a lot that you have to say that you think he could win 3 rounds and not more. So that is what the problem is Hamzat Chimaev, I don't think could, first of all, survive 3 rounds. Look at the fight with Usman. Usman is going to be in way worse condition than DDP. That's just the facts. So to say that 3 rounds, that's a ridiculous thing to say. We're back at 50-50, by the way, at this poll. Wow. But to say come on, that that it's obvious that he's gonna be able to, I wouldn't count. I wouldn't bet the farm on that one, as they say. 14 ain't liked. Stop being lame, guys. Yo, exactly, bro. Deadass. Come on, let's like up this stream, please, guys. Like I said, hit the subscribe button as well. That helps a lot. The subscribe button and the notification bell. Remember, and join the Discord if you guys want, and we could talk more there. Let's see. Usman would have won against Leon too if it was only 3 rounds. I don't understand what that's a thing to. I mean, because I didn't make that point. The other guy made that point. Yeah, look, I mean, I think that my opinion is this, and I've said this before, and I know that Profik is definitely not going to like this take of mine, and it might honestly leave or rage quit. But I personally scored the Hamzat Usman fight a draw. I thought that the first round, or no, I didn't even score it a draw. I actually scored it for Usman, which I know that is even going to get even more hated. I didn't think the first round was a 10-8. Don't think, failing at submissions is enough to get a 10-8. I don't think that round, in my opinion, was enough to get a 10-8. At one point, Usman, I think, slammed Hamzat's face into the mat when defending the rear naked choke at one point. So he got damage across himself. It wasn't like, he was viciously ground and pounding him the whole fight, or the whole round, I should say. Don't think that should have been a 10-8. And I think that Usman won the second and third round. I think the second round is close, to be fair, but that's my opinion. I know that's probably not going to come off well, but that's honestly what I thought of it. But that's why I was so shocked about the other fight with Whitaker. I've met him 2 times. So this is him saying about how he met Drekus. Well, he said I met from his country. I never met him. I've met him 2 times. I've seen him fight twice. I'm going to see him at 319. Oh, that's dope. We got someone else on the channel is also seeing him, so you guys could have a meet and greet. Do we honestly think his cardio is natural considered how he fought before? Who are you talking about? Hamzat? Is he resigned for a long time, or you mean Drekus' cardio is natural? That's interesting if that's what you're saying, because I do think it's natural. I think it just was from the nose surgery. But I mean, well, look, honestly, that's a different conversation. Is Dricus du Plessis natural? I don't know. I'm not saying that I think he is natural, because, look, that guy is fucking insane. I could see him not being natural. Let's be real. That guy's in insane, shape. I'm not saying I think he's on steroids, but I'm just saying I'm not going to say either way. But I don't think that the cardio, if that is your evidence, I think that's some weak evidence, just because I think the nose thing is probably why. Let's see, guys. Sorry, I'm trying to get everybody. Do you honestly? Okay. Let's see. Is he reigned for long? It was his size that helped him when he started fighting guys. His size, he struggled. In the middleweight division? No, I don't think so. I think he just got older. I don't think it was the fact that he fought guys his size. I mean, you could talk if you're talking about Jan Blachowicz, yeah, that definitely was a mistake. But in the middleweight division, I don't think that he fought Pereira. Pereira's a really big guy. I don't think that's a guy his size. Like, he's a lot bigger than Pereira. I mean, Pereira's a lot bigger than Adesanya. And he fought Strickland, and I think that was just a result of him just being active, being older, getting injuries. And now, I mean, he's fighting young up-and-comers. He fought Nasty Nemavov, got knocked out. Fought Dricus Du Plessis. He's literally at the top of his game right now, Du Plessis. So I think it's just a matter of fact that he's fighting younger guys that are really good, and he's falling off. Let's be real. I don't know if it has much to do with size. People forget, man, Petr Yan is a top 5 fighter of all time. Don't know about top 5 fighter of all time. Petr Yan is really good, but he just has a lot of bad situations that played into his hand. It is not worthy. It is not worthy or something. I don't know. Maybe you're saying he's not worthy. Oh, man, bro. A lot of people hate on Caucasus fighters even though they win. Well, look, I mean, this, I think that it's fair justice. I don't think it's like has anything to do about where someone's from or anything like that. I mean, we're just talking. This is just, it has to do with Khamzat. You know what I'm saying? I could, in the same breath, say Khamzat Chimaev looked incredible against Robert Whittaker. You know what I'm saying? I always am here to give unbiased takes. I get accused all the time. Oh, you're this guy. You're a hater of this guy. There's some guys, and I'll say to you guys, look, I don't like this guy. Khamzat, I don't really have a beef with Khamzat. I don't really care. Like, Khamzat's fine. I'm not a really, there's definitely fighters that I'm like, oh man, this guy annoys me. Khamzat isn't one of those guys. Personally, I actually kind of want to see him fight more. You know what I'm saying? I want to see him fight even more. So I'm a fan of Khamzat. This has nothing to do about where he's from. This isn't like, I know that a lot of people do just, hate on Dagestani fighters, that. This isn't what it's about, guys. We're just talking. Like I said, I've said before, Islam Makhachev could be a GOAT of his weight class. This is just me giving my commentary based on their fighting. And I have evidence to back it up. So we can go evidence for evidence if you really think it's just from, where they're from. I'll always defend myself and defend the take, I'm Khamzat, but if we're going around 2, 3, or God forbid 4, Khamzat is getting dispatched of. I don't know if dispatched, because I can see both guys getting tired. I think that honestly the fight's going to end quick. I think it's going to end within 2 rounds. That's my opinion. Marab Diwashi Willie. That's a good one. That you should hit Marab with that one. Aprofreak, I just became a fan of you. DDP simultaneously could be Khamzat's easiest fight or his hardest fight. And you said I became a fan of you, but to be fair, you just said that DDP also could be an easy fight. I didn't see Profik said that, so my bad for not reading that. Khamzat is going to shock a lot of Western fans with improved cardio. Tristan, look, if he is, I'll be the first one to say that I'm wrong. I think that hopefully he's pushing himself. But I think that the way Khamzat fights, he isn't like a 5-round fighter. Some fighters are like that. I mean, people have said that about Conor McGregor, that if he fought for 5 rounds, he wouldn't be anywhere near as good as he is. And the same thing, I think, with Khamzat. Khamzat relies on that explosiveness. So does guys like, I know this is a crazy example, Michael Chandler, because Michael Chandler, I'm not trying to say he's good or anything, but I'm just saying, he wins his fights, he relies on his explosiveness. He doesn't necessarily, if he were to say, okay, let's play the long game, he probably would get knocked out pretty quick because the skill isn't necessarily there. Khamzat Chimaev, I think, has more skill than Michael Chandler, let's be real. Definitely has a lot more skill. His stand-up's a lot better. His grappling's a lot better. His wrestling's, I think, better. Michael Chandler has good wrestling, so I'm not going to say a lot better, but I would say probably better, for sure. Definitely a decent amount better. And I think his defense also is really better. And I think that if he can stay defensively sound and kind of not play this, we're going to throw in the pocket and make this an ugly fight, that I think he'll lose. And we saw it against Gilbert Burns. I mean, I think that Khamzat's tough, but I don't think he has the cardio to take all those punches for that many rounds. I'm saying this with respect. You can't say if. Khamzat struggled against Gilbert. I don't know what that was towards, but Khamzat struggled against Gilbert Burns, so there's no way he'll dominate DDP. I mean, I wouldn't say no way, only because, like I said, people do change, and I do feel bad bringing up the Gilbert Burns. Even when I was going through his record, the Gilbert Burns fight, it was 3 years ago, I get it, but even then, I feel like that honestly was one of his better performances. If you look at that's the sad part. I mean, that is literally one of his better performances, because then what else really is there? The Kevin Holland fight? I mean, the Usman fight, I mean, actually, his best performance really is the Robert Whittaker fight, of course, but that was insane when he did that, when he submitted him in a round. Let's see. DDP wins or not? Not if. No, if he gets past the first round. I don't think so. I don't even think that. I honestly think, guys, you guys are really underestimating this. I honestly really think that Khamzat Chimaev in the first round isn't even going to be a threat to Duplessis. I think that Duplessis is going to be able to defend. I think that, Khamzat is just going to wind up draining himself. But that's going to be insane. Like, our hearts are going to be, like, racing, pumping out of our chests, and that, like, when that fucking thing goes, because that Khamzat is going to go right at him. Or he might not. Maybe he will play it safe. If Islam beats JDM, then Islam goes down and loses to Ilya. Could Ilya beat JDM? I would probably say, I mean, that's interesting. I don't think so, though. I think that the size definitely is just too much. But, I mean, it definitely helps that they're both strikers, for sure. I think that's a lot better. Like, if JDM was a wrestler, that would be a lot harder. It was Merab's cardio, not DDP. Sorry. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. That you were saying is fake. Okay. And I mean, look, like I said, once again, I said the same thing I said. I think I wouldn't be surprised anybody is on it. So that's my stance on that. The thing with Usman is Usman's a great wrestler, only got takedowns once in his career prior to fighting Chimaev, while DDP has been taken down by a lot of people. Yeah, but also that was Usman on short notice. Like, I don't think to say, like, oh, Usman had better takedown defense, and Kamaru, if that's what you're trying to say, Kamaru had better takedown defense, Khamzat took him down, therefore he should be able to take down Duplessis. Don't think that's the same thing, because, I mean, first of all, consider this. Like I said, the size difference was there because Usman was not expecting to fight at 185. That was on 10 days notice. So, of course, he's going to get taken down. I mean, this isn't like a fully, fleshed out middleweight. However, DDP, he is a full middleweight that is, training with big guys, with light heavyweights, with middleweights. So, he's someone that's going to be able to hang with Khamzat. So, that's a difference, I think. I don't think you can compare, because the Usman fight, you can't really... You can't really be too harsh on Usman's performance because he took it on 10 days' notice up a weight class. Khamzat had a full training camp to fight Paulo Costa, yeah, I know, and he was in that camp for a while. To clarify, okay, the two times we've seen Khamzat in third, he's noticeably worse. I don't get how people don't see that. He's a 12-10 fighter in round one. He's 4-10 in the third. And yeah, I agree, but I think the question really is, I think people see it, but I think the question is, can he finish DDP in the first round? I don't think he can, though. That's my opinion. Let's see. If Islam beat JDM, then beat Ilya, he definitely would be the GOAT. I agree. If he beat JDM, he'd be a fucking triple champ. That is speedrunning GOAT status, my God. Islam is not going to make 155 ever again. Islam is not a 155er that barely cuts weight. Islam is gaining weight to stay at 170. And actually, Prafiq, I do agree with you. I do agree with you on that one. And when is it happening? I see someone that just joined. We talked about it in the beginning. But Khabib basically confirmed that Islam's going to fight in NYC in November 14th, most likely. That date is. But I actually agree with you, Prafiq. I actually don't see Islam going back down to 155, and I think that would be just a dumb idea. I honestly think, hot take, even if he loses, just stay at 170, get warmed up to the weight class, take another fight, maybe 2 fights, you'll get back in the title picture. I could see Islam winning 1 fight and getting a title shot. Let's be real. I think he would deserve that, another fight. You're moving up a weight class, you lose right away. I understand, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's tough to do. I think he definitely, I could see him fighting, Sean Brady, fighting Ian Gary. Yeah, and then if he wins that fight, get a title shot. Why not? Let's see. I was saying about DDP. I was saying about DDP and boards. You can't say DDP wins if. Oh, I see. So when is this happening? Khamzat almost finished Burns in the third. Yeah, look, I think honestly, I said myself, Khamzat actually, I think wasn't a bad performance because he looked good in the third round. So I actually don't think that's honestly a really good example. He actually kind of looked good in that fight. I think that was one of his best performances, second best to Whittaker. People imagining the Gilbert Burns fight should also consider Brunson out wrestling and nearly submitting DDP. The Usman fight is more reasonable if you're really into discrediting Chimaev. Yeah, and Prafiq, I 1,000% agree with you. And I said before, I was like, I honestly feel the Burns fight is actually not even that bad of a fight for him. I really don't even think, like, honestly, really, his cardio didn't really look that bad in that fight. Honestly, whether Islam beats JDM or not and comes back down and Ilya beats him, he might even retire based on what what he said he wanted to do with the sport. Yeah, Ilya, I saw that he's been saying he wants to retire early. Like, I think that's a mistake. I mean, I guess if he does, he's making his money, whatever. I mean, but I don't know. That would suck. It would definitely suck if he like retires next year. I mean, that would just be like, wow, okay, that sucks. Basel Hafiz almost beat JDM. Ilya could. I mean, we could say this about anybody. I mean, everybody's had off nights. You could have had the flu that night. I mean, for all you know. You know what I'm saying? Crazy stuff happens. You know, we can't just say that. Me and Kamal need to 1v1 right now for the number one fan spot. I feel like Kamal wasn't a number one fan. Is he like actually is he number one now? That's funny because he was the first thing he said was like, I hate shit. But we love Kamal. Like I said, Kamal needs to join the Discord. Will you go to that Islam fight in Mag then? Oh, Madison Square Garden. Will I go? Look, in a perfect world I would love to, but obviously like in MSG, you mean I would love to, but I just think the prices that they have been putting out for the UFC, it is insane. The last few years for MSG cards, they've been like $1,100. Not worth it, guys. I've been to MSG cards. I went to the first one I ever went to was the Usman Covington card, and then I went to the Pereira Adesanya one, and then I think I went to the Pereira Iyuri one, and that was that. I didn't go to the John Jones one that happened last year. So I went to those, and that was like, after 3, it's just like, dude, come on. If you're going to keep raising it, this is ridiculous, you know? It's getting ridiculous. And yeah, don't worry, I knew what you meant. Where are you, bro? We got beef. Yeah, Kamal might have left, who knows, after you exposed him. DDP is better tired fighting, after you called him out, I should say. DDP is better tired fighting is all we need to know. Yeah, that's funny. That's actually facts. You want beef, Isaac. Yo, why is there so much beef going on? I laughed at what you're saying to the other guy, but beef we can if you want to. Do you think we see Gene Silva versus Ilya at any point? Yeah, I mean, I think I if I were to take a bet, gun to my head, and I had to take a bet, I would probably say no, to be honest, just because Gene Silva's a featherweight right now, and I just think Ilya, given where he is, I mean, I think Ilya would probably have to be like the lightweight champ and stay the lightweight champ for 5 years or so. I mean, maybe at least probably 4 years, let's say, actually. Maybe like 3 or 4 years. Because I don't think he's moving up anytime soon. So, let's see. Damn, this chat, I'm sorry, guys. I gotta really fucking respond to y'all faster. Yes, I'm in the U.S. I'm from New York. Burns had JDM beat until he got a seconds left. Hot take, no one at 170 is that good. I disagree. Sean Brady. Ian Gary's even good. I know Ian Gary. I actually don't really like Ian Gary, but Ian Gary's good. Kamaru Usman looked good in his last fight. Joaquin Buckley, I think, is good. I think he's good, even though he lost his last fight. Who else you got? I mean, I think JDM is good. I mean, I think there's a lot of good guys. You're everywhere. I'm gonna be at UFC 319 and 320. That is dope. Damn, Las Vegas and Chicago. Yeah, it's fire. Those are fire cards. I mean, 319. We were actually just reviewing it before. UFC 319 is a crazy. It is an insane card, dude. That is really good. If that is the type of card they're bringing to New York City, that'll be hard to pass up. Hell no, floor seats are way too pricey. No, I agree. Yeah, and fuck floor seats. Like I said, if 1,100 is like the cheapest ticket, imagine what a floor seat is. Can you write it off as a business expense if you vlog it? I don't make that much. Sadly, I don't get taxed off YouTube because I don't make that much. But hopefully, look, if look, I absolutely would love to. Like, if I made enough on YouTube, I would definitely treat myself to that. But you know, sadly, I doubt so. But you never know. Look, hopefully we can get shit popping. You know what I'm saying? Last time we had Vlad popping the chat. You know what I'm saying? Blessing the donos. So you know, who knows? Maybe Vlad will pay for it at this point. Bryce, let's see. Yeah, so I would love to write his business expense. Bryce Mitchell versus Cody Garbrandt. I actually do like that fight, but oh yeah, Bryce Mitchell's at 135. I'm dumb now. Yeah, right, I forgot. Yeah, that would work perfectly. They raise 500 every time. Yeah, for real, right? Like it's literally like $500 every time. I thought MMA was UFC back then. I started watching UFC. Then I started watching since UFC 300. I thought MMA was UFC back then. Okay, so you're saying like, oh, the UFC event was the first event I watched. Oh, live. I see. I thought you meant like that's when you got into MMA. I was like, oh shit, you're a new fan. What's up? I'm joining, bro. I want no beef. You seem like a chill guy. Oh, I'm joking, bro. But if you're trying to scrap, we're going to the gym. Yeah, we're already working on a boxing card for the channel, as you guys know. At the 100K subscriber special, we're doing a boxing card in probably like we got to do it somewhere, but it's going to be live streamed on the channel. I'll be the commentator. We'll get a good card going. And like I said, this is going to be some fun matchups. Like I said, I want some shit like the really tall guy versus the short guy, you know what I'm saying? Type shit like that, you know? Some fun, like, you know, funny matchups. I would rather go to a Boston card or a Utah card and go to a little trip and not that expensive. Yeah, that's true. Well, you mean like would you rather go to the Boston or Utah card, or do you mean like you would just rather go to that in general, to those places and just have a vacation? Okay, Tristan's like, are you, bro? There's beef going on in this chat. Let's see. My fave Ian Gary fight is the last round of him versus Brontas. That also is my favorite. People forget, man, Bilal knocked out the biggest welterweight, Sean Brady. Yeah, but look, Sean Brady, I mean, Bilal had a long career, you know, up until that point. People fuck up, guys. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think Brady has shown that he is crazy good since then. I mean, he's had a lot of fights since. Let's see. We did a giveaway for UFC 319. I don't know who's we, but, you know, if you can make me win the giveaway, I appreciate it. Islam cutting weight to go back down to 155 from 170 will probably affect his chin, especially against a KO specialist like Ilya, which is what I said, and which is what I believe Prafiq was questioning me on, which was like, oh, what's the difference between JDM and Islam? What's the difference between Ilya and fighting Islam and the weight not being a factor, opposed to Islam moving up? You know what I'm saying? And the problem is Islam's moving up that weight class and moving back down. It's like that's a huge, I think, a toll on your body and the training you have to do. I mean, you are not showing up your best, absolutely, if you have to do that. Islam won't be able to make 155. I agree. I doubt he will again. Me against Kamel. Yeah, that'll definitely be on the card for sure. Islam is a natural welterweight. Once he adapts to that weight, he is not going to drop 15 pounds all of a sudden. Yeah, I agree. And that's the thing is, like, I think even if I said this before on the stream, I said this like 5 minutes ago or so. Even if Islam loses, he should stay at 155, or I mean a 170. Fight a contender. Stay at the weight class. Grow into the weight class. You're like one fight away from a title shot. Let's see. Oh, dude, I'll be 16 in November, and you look younger than me. How old are you? So I'm 22. I just have a baby face. I have a young face and stuff. But guys, come on. I want to see what this A Ryan looks like. Join the Discord. We gotta see. Do you actually look older than me? And if you do, I'll be sad probably. MMA went to go see a few EFC matches back in the day, and DDP was probably there. I just didn't know who he was. That's true. Yo, that's crazy. Islam is built for 170. I don't know, guys. I'm curious to see. I think so. I think he's gonna do fine at 170. I agree, but I'm curious to see. I was at Leon versus Usman 2 in Utah, and Sterling versus O'Malley in Boston. That was fun. Oh, that is dope. The Leon one must have been crazy with that head kick, right? That must have been insane. My last card was UFC 392 live. Yeah, that's fire. Yo, I'm late as fuck. Yo, Piggly Wiggly, you're always late, man. Come on. Last time you should have hopped on the Discord call. What's the Discord about? You want me to hop on the stream? No, I'm not saying hop on the stream. I'm just saying hop on the Discord. You don't gotta hop on the stream and shit. But I'm saying no. Like yeah, you don't gotta hop on the stream or whatever. I just meant hop on the Discord and chat it up with us. You know what I'm saying? Type in the chat, you know what I'm saying? Introduce yourself, you know, it's like it's fun shit, you know what I'm saying? I actually, like I said, last time, as you guys know, last time we were live, Vlad, this was a guy that has been supporting the channel for a long time, was like literally like one of the only guys paying for like a monthly membership. And guys, you guys don't get anything for getting a monthly membership from me, at least. I don't do anything extra. So this guy's literally just sending me money just to support me for so long. I've been wanting to thank him. He hopped on the stream, donated a lot of money. He joined the Discord, and I felt so bad. I was like, hop on the stream. Come on, we got to talk. We got to talk, you know. I felt bad after because, you know, I shouldn't have been pushy. I should have let him be. I should have picked up on the social cues a little bit, so I was sorry about that. But Vlad is a great guy, and I'm glad Vlad is now in the Discord talking. So I get to actually talk to Vlad, and I think we're friends on Discord, perhaps. I don't know. I'm actually pretty like a boomer type shit with the whole Discord thing. But yeah, hop on Discord, Ryan. Islam at 185 is a stretch. I don't know how he would do. At 185, who said that? Who said 185? I don't know. Did I say 185 by accident? Because what the fuck? Yeah. Oh, who said at 185? TKO is outpricing fans, honestly. I agree. It's literally happening before our very eyes. Do you agree JDM is a harder fight than Ilya against Islam? I actually literally said that. I said that a little bit ago. I said that I think that JDM is a harder fight than Ilya. I feel like JDM is harder for Islam to beat than Ilya. You know, I think he would do better against Ilya probably. But I think that perhaps Ilya could do that. I don't even got a channel, dude. Hey Ryan, I don't even know. I see. Hop on the do a collab. Oh, I see. I thought you were telling me. I was like, I'm not saying. I was like, I don't know what you think Discord is, but no, I see you're not talking to me. But yeah, no, I said that before earlier in the stream. I think JDM is definitely a harder fight for Islam. Let's be real. I think moving up a weight class, that's enough of a toll. I want C-Rod versus Simon if C-Rod beats Philly next week. That would be a dope fight. I like that. Battle front checkers. Yeah, for real. The OGs. Hopefully you do a collab or hop on and do a collab. Tristan said, no, coach said, I don't even got a channel. Not you guys. I'm not talking about his coach. Interview said that. Islam will easily make 155 again. I don't know if you mean not easily. Even though I would like to see Islam versus Hamzat. I think you guys are talking about the coach. Yeah, well, we talked about that a long time ago, right? Like I did a video on that. I remember, I think a few months ago, I think it was Javier Mendez said that he could fight at 185. It's just cringe, dude. Like, dude. Or maybe it was Ali, or maybe it was both of them. I think it was both of them. The censoring in chat is so RNDM. But how is it censoring, guys? Like, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm confused. Like, I'm trying to, like, what does it censor? Is there, like, how do I know what's censored in the chat? Is there, I don't know. How do I get to these, like, is there, like, a chat setting or something? Let me see. Is there settings here that I can maybe, let me hide this because I don't want to, like, show anything in case. Let me try to see. Oh, I have community moderation. Let's see. I'm trying to, let's see. Is there, like, oh my god. No, I just saw something crazy, but no, there is. No, I don't know what's going on. No, there's nothing here. I mean, it's blocking links. So if you guys are accidentally putting something with a period, maybe that's why. If there's like a period in between and not a space, maybe that's why. That's probably why, if I were to take a guess. All right, let me get the chat back. Oh, you guys can see me a little bit. All right, let's see. Yeah, so that's not me. But censoring feels like the UK. I don't know if the UK really be censoring like that, by the way. But striking wise, how would you say Ilya matches against a MVP at welterweight? That is a out there question, my friend. But that's definitely interesting, though. I really like that question. Yeah, I really like the question. I think that MVP would win. I know it sounds crazy. I know a lot of people would say that if it's striking, I really think MVP would win. I think that it's just such a hard style to deal with. And I think that Ilya he's too short. I think to and MVP is going to be too in and out, way too fast for to get caught up in anything like that. You know what I mean? That's what I think, at least. I think that he's probably would beat Ilya at 170, mixed with the height, the weight, all of that. And he's a pretty good striker as it is. Ticket to the Spear was somehow cheaper than damn near any other pay-per-view in the last 2 years. Yo, for real, right? I know, right? Like, back then, the Spear prices seemed crazy. Now it's like the average fucking price. Ilya cannot strike against MVP. I mean, to say cannot, I mean, that makes it sound now too harsh. I wouldn't say can. It's just the size. Like, I mean, pound for pound, like it's interesting, but I agree. I think probably not. So maybe you're not being too harsh. My younger brother is a WWE nerd, and he went to SummerSlam. Let's see. I want to go here, so I'm not turning my head. My brother is a WWE nerd. He went to SummerSlam. Floor seats only for $200. We would have to pay $5K. Yeah, maybe even more than $5K. Realistically, you might have to pay seriously $3K. Oh, and Islam for the first time has overtaken Ilia Topuria, guys, in the poll, which is insane. Let's see. Spear did $27 million gate. To beat MVP is grapple him. There's very low chance that you could catch MVP. Well, this is striking, and the grappling would make things a little more interesting because Ilya can grapple, but I don't think that would happen. Ali hypes them up too much. I think MVP, I mean, but that's, in all fairness, though, I understand, though, that's also his job to hype up his fighters. He's a bit of a promoter himself in a way. Like, he kind of just, I think, views himself as that. I think MVP is a best, but at the same time, it definitely is ridiculous, and we will make fun of him when he says the stupid shit. I think MVP is the best pure striker in the UFC, if not the top 3, and I mean, yeah, I think so, too. I think he's definitely up there. But at the same time, I don't think he's top 3. Definitely top 3 is a bit extreme, but don't think top 3. He doesn't have the damage, in my opinion, to be in that top 3. He's not knocking people out. He's and look what he's done in the UFC. I mean, you know what I'm saying? In the Kevin Holland fight, he should have knocked out Kevin Holland if he really was top 3. I mean, come on. I asked which UFC fighter would you smash if they were girls. Nothing too spicy. If they were a girl, nothing. Oh, my God. That's what you asked? Oh my God. Which guy? I mean, I guess I'd probably pick, I would probably want somebody that's I don't know, man. I would probably say Conor McGregor, because I feel like Conor McGregor at least always is a good time. I honestly, though, that is pretty crazy to say, because Conor McGregor is always cheating on his wife and shit, but it's at the same time, it's if you're bringing in that kind of money in the household, I might understand where D's coming from. Imagine MVP versus Pereira at middleweight. That would be sick. That would be insane. And I mean, who knows? Heavyweight, that would be even crazier. Imagine MVP moving up fucking 25 pounds. I think Pereira, obviously. But pound for pound, that would be an interesting matchup, but I think Pereira would win. That is my prediction. I think Pereira would close in the distance and crowd MVP, and I think get the knockout. Some comments that have certain words get auto-deleted by YouTube. Yeah, well, that's what I actually was just checking, and there wasn't any words. I mean, there was certain words that I was I just were caught off guard by, but that if you use that, you get banned. So I did see some of that, but I don't think you guys were using any of those words. So MVP Sons Ilya. That's interesting. John Dyer, I love to see MVP versus DDP, like those styles. Yeah, that is true. That would be interesting to see. UK sets up an elite police task force to monitor what people are saying about immigration. Here feels like censoring. Really? Wow, I didn't even know that. Then I apologize because I questioned you, what the hell do you know? But, about the UK, but you literally live in the UK, so what the fuck do I know? I'm the one just fucking guessing here. But, oh shit, I didn't even realize it's mad late, guys. Are the newer card prices more reasonable for you? I would consider going to the newer cards. And just there hasn't been one that really I was oh yeah, let me go to this one. The Marab card I did think about because I really like Marab. I forgot who else fought in that card, but there was someone else that I was I'd be interested in seeing that fight. But what do you call it? I think that what was last time? It was I'm trying to think. Oh, I did mind the Pena and Harrison fight, so it was a decent card, and I was thinking about it, but I never actually. I think I didn't even really look into it, but I would consider it if it was really good. Yeah, absolutely. But I think that they're not. It's just not worth it, but they're definitely a lot better in prices. I mean, New York City obviously gonna have super, super expensive prices. I've never ever thought about that, which I don't know what that's about, but whatever. Just emojis, whatever. Where would you put Hamza pound for pound? UFC has him number 14 right now. I mean, I don't know. I would say maybe there's a chance he's not even in the top 15 for me. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard for me. I'm trying to think. I would probably say 14, 15 area is fair. I want to see boxing-esque, like smaller guys like Pac-Man beating on bigger guys. That's what I'm saying. Well, that's what I want to see for my boxing event. That's what I'm talking about. It's like type fights like that for that's going to be for the 100K special. So hit the subscribe button if you guys want to see that. Would love to see a 3-division champ. Yeah, I would love to see that too. Probably never going to happen, though. So JDM versus Islam, more than likely, I think it will happen in New York. If it does, are you going? So, yeah, I was just talking about that. Don't think I would go, which is, I mean, judging based on the trends of the last UFC fights. Granted, however, the last 2 years, they were both supposed to be headlined by John Jones 2 years ago. John Jones wound up pulling out. But how will it be now that John Jones, a big star, is not going to headline? I don't know. Will it be less? Maybe then it is less, and I've consider it. I don't know. I would take a look though. But probably not. I would probably say no. We need that Bilal. It also depends on the card. You know, that main event isn't enough for me. Give me a little bit more. Like, it would probably have to be a really cool card, like a really fun experience for me to be like, yo, I would have something like UFC 319, to be honest, would make me be like, hey, maybe I would go to that. UFC 319 looks sick. I was just looking at that. I'm like, fuck, that looks crazy. We need that Bilal versus Usman. We need that man tremendously. That's the right fight. There's everybody been asking for, but I think they're going to do Shavkat Bilal, is my opinion. I wouldn't mind seeing Usman versus Bilal, but I don't know. I'm also okay with the Bilal Shavkat fight. Either one is fine. If DDP wins, if Hamzat wins versus DDP and Alex wins, we should do Hamzat versus Alex for the 205 title. That would be insane. And no, I don't think we should do that. I disagree. Alex... Okay, maybe this is why Prafik's been getting his chats blocked for some of these languages, but Hamzat blanks Alex at any weight class. No, don't believe that. I don't think that. I mean, that's pretty crazy to just... I mean, I don't know. I mean, it would be tough to say. Actually, yeah. I mean, I don't know. He might, honestly. I would like to not believe that, but maybe. I'm from Chicago, so 319 was a must, but 320 is also a must. Ankh versus Alex too, and then my two favorite fighters, Merab and Yuri. Oh yeah, Merab. Yeah, the Merab and Sandhagen fight is a big plus for me. I'm really excited for that fight, and the Yuri fight too is amazing. Do you follow PFL 2? Not really. If they add Volk versus Mosvar to Islam versus JDM, would you go? It would definitely take. For me, I think I would need like. What I'm saying is, like, I would want something like UFC 319 where, like, the early prelims or prelims are like, oh, those are sick fights. And I would say, like, I've been to a card like that. This isn't me being unreasonable. UFC, I think it was 281. The one with Adesanya was an insane card. That was, like, the best card I ever went to in person. It was just a really good card. If you look back, tons of first-round finishes. But even the quality was really stacked. The main card was unbelievable. The performances themselves actually delivered that night. It was really good, and it was just a good vibe overall. Shara Putan versus John Jones, so he pokes his other eye. I promise it's warranted. Oh my god. Yeah, I think John Jones would officially get canceled there. Maybe he'll lose again. Maybe it would be his actual next loss. No contest once again. I'm going to 319 in person, my first ever event. Definitely shout out Piggly Wiggly. Have fun. Hopefully you and the 10-7 can link up. Alex has zero wrestling. Magomed and Hamzat are very different fighters. Yeah, they definitely are. That's why I'm like pausing a bit. Prafik 100% Hamzat might be the best fighter in all of UFC. Don't know about that just yet. It's been a lot of time brewing. We want that. Also, who cares about Imavov versus Hamzat or RDR versus Hamzat? Which one are you saying? Hamzat versus Alex? You guys are really saying this? Like, is this really a thing? I mean, look, I'm not against it. Like, I'm not going to cry about it. I actually think it's kind of interesting, but I mean, they're just so random. I highly doubt they're going to do that. I mean, those are two big stars that could be headlining pay-per-views. Look at the Islam and Ilya situation. They're not going to do that. This is even more mind-boggling. I don't think they would ever do that. It's been a lot of time. Okay, I read that one. People don't understand Hamzat is extremely well-rounded and technical, and I agree. I think that Hamzat has some good ability, and I think that his skill, if you guys are going to say, oh, Hamzat's mid-level, no, I don't think he's mid-level. I think he definitely has some good skill, but the cardio is a problem, clearly. Let's do Imavov versus RDR for the interim title till Hamzat tries to become an actual champ. Yeah, that's probably, spoilers, that's probably what's going to happen if Hamzat wins in August. Man, I've been to maybe 10 to 15 events, And everyone is saying 319 is amazing. I think it's bad except the main event. Am I nuts? Hell no. What are you talking about, dude? We're going to look at this. I'll make you feel better, hopefully. We're looking at this early prelims. I like this fight. Karina Silva. I like Karina Silva. Brian Battle versus Nusra. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce this name, but you guys know what I'm saying. Brian Battle, big name. Edson Barboza, Jakar Close is a good fight. Look at this. Chase Hooper, Alexander Hernandez, good fight. Jessica Andrade, Luby Godinez. Yeah, that's a good fight. Gerald Marchart versus Mike. That one's okay. King Green, Diego Ferreira, I like a lot. The Tim Elliott Asakurao fight is really, really good too. This fight I'm really excited for. This is one of my favorite fights. Michael Page versus Jared Cannonier. Crazy fight. Jeff Neal versus Carlos Pratas. Another really good fight. I will say, look, I think probably, like, if I were going in person, this would probably concern me a little bit. Like, damn, like, that's the co-main event. You are right about that. That is a little bit disappointing, I guess, in that aspect. But I'll say, like, I think that it definitely is good, though. This is, like, it's good for the, like, overall, length. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know if I can keep going back because the chat is kind of keeps going fast. So we're probably just gonna keep it going. So if I miss you, just retype it. If you went to cards pre 2020, probably not nuts. No. The prices were definitely a lot better back then. RDR going to split with Rob makes Hamza win look even better. No, I was just thinking that before actually. Let's see. Hamza sucks. What's the matter with people? Chama was expecting to be taken down by Ankh. Then Ankh turned out to be a better striker. My man was beefing in 2022. There's history. Yeah, there is history there, I will say. But to be fair, the history's kind of died. I mean, this isn't, I feel like even at least Ilya, Patty, they've been kind of somewhat, at least sometimes on social media talking shit. I mean, there really isn't anything there. And even when that fight there was a beef. I mean, was there even really a beef? I mean, it was a slight kind of encounter talked about at the time fight that was just thrown out there. Yes, bro, you're better than Hamza. DDP being competitive with Brunson and Till is a bad look. That is a bad look, but that was also pre his nose surgery a long time ago. We could point those things out about Hamza too. He's had bad performances. I think bad performances more recent. So I think there's that. RDR versus DDP should happen no matter what. Yeah, I think RDR versus DDP is a good fight. I mean, and if DDP loses his next fight, it makes even more sense. So, well said. Do you think Islam Dulatev can be? Do you think Islam Dulatev could be champ? I mean, look, I feel like at this stage, it's like when you're someone like at the bottom at this point, it's like, do you even like? What do you call it? Like you can't really judge. I feel like there's you really can only tell when you're starting to get to like the top 15, top 10, how you're actually taking out those guys. But it's possible. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We're interviewing Battle and Tim Elliott. Maybe I just hate the co-main. I don't know if you're like some part of like, let me see. I'm gonna check out your channel right now. Look, I'm checking it out right now. See, damn, I see. So what do you got, like a press pass or something? What's up? You gotta tell me. 10-7. I'm checking out your shit. Don't worry, I'm gonna check it out. Two friends named Dino Talk MMA. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. I have it right here. Shout out. Lerone Murphy versus Pico pick. I'm probably gonna go with I'll probably go with Lerone Murphy, although Pico has looked really good. I don't know. Is it 5 rounds? You guys know? I think if it's 3 rounds, I don't know. I think that changes a lot. But maybe Pico. Pico's been also getting in really good shape. Lerone Murphy hasn't looked always the best. I don't know, honestly. I got to really think about that one. I watched a vid on Pico Fighter. He got KO power is insane. No, I know. That's exactly why I'm wondering. Like, I think maybe if it's 3 rounds, it could be different. If Aaron Pico wins, they will give him a title shot over Mozart, probably, honestly, especially if it's like a knockout in the first round. That's a big spot, co-main event. Mozart is built for 5-round fights. He has insane endurance. But the question is, of course, will the UFC give him his title shot? That is a different story. If Aaron Pico wins, I already read that. Mozart is built. Okay, read that. Islam Makhachev versus Islam Dulatev, Dagestan versus Chechnya. That's gonna be intense. That who knows? Honestly, I could see that happening, and that'd be a big fight. I mean, imagine they actually took fights to Russia or something. Hamza Chimaev versus Nasruddin Imavov. Oh, Oh, that is Chechnya. Oh, that's actually a better example. I didn't even think about that, and that probably is going to happen soon. No press pass, been declined, but we have some good relationships in the MMA space. Oh, that's good news. Relationships is everything. Everyone's saying Pico just going to handle him hard. Murphy just underdog right now. Well, it's good also that you're going to both events. I guess that makes sense why you're going to both events. Interviewing Battle and Elliott. Okay, yeah, no, that's dope. Everyone's saying, I didn't know if like you were going there for press or something. Everyone's saying Pico is just going to wrestle him hard. Murphy the underdog right now. But wow, I'm surprised. And that I think Pico, I think it's going to be mixing it up. And that's why I think the shorter the better, because I think if he could just steal rounds, I think he has a lot of opportunities to steal rounds. Cards were infinitely better, more stacked back in the day, but I also think it's more of an issue of stardom and names. When do most of these guys actually make a wave in the community or advertise themselves on a larger scale? Most fighters don't even have an idea who they want to fight next, or even say McGregor. Lol, exactly, my bad, Caps. No, it's all good. Look, I don't blame you. You're passionate, man. But like I said, like I do feel you, and I think that a lot of times, like we live in MMA guys, a lot of them, I think they tend to be more, they attract more of like a family-based kind of guy, and I think that's why we don't really see as big stars, as we don't see these, outlandish characters, doing these. These are usually very disciplined, quiet family guys, because those usually when you're the best, when you're disciplined. You're not usually going to be the best when you're partying, doing all this and that, and you have this extravagant personality. And that's what I think it really comes down to also at the end of the day. It's just honestly more of a systemic issue for the UFC, really. It kind of just who it attracts. DDP thinks about fan money for value. Every fight looks like he was about to lose, but he doesn't. It's called value for money. Yeah, no, and his heart is always, like, it's good to have, to know that DDP could always rely on his heart. Aaron Pico by split decision. Unfortunately, Murphy smokes Pico. A lot to talk about this Aaron Pico versus Leron Murphy fight. Maybe I'll make a video on it, because I see there's a lot of people talking about it, a lot of people excited. I'm excited about it too, and I like the fight. And I liked it when it was announced. Look, I mean, it's not the big co-main event. It wasn't the Gaethje-Patty Pimblett fight that was at one point rumored a few months ago, and I think the fight that they were holding out for, to be honest, behind the scenes. But it's still a good fight, and I don't mind it. I like it, and I think that it has big implications for Volkanovski's next fight. I got Cyril Gane beating Aspinall by split decision, so John actually comes back. Maybe, yeah, the UFC are going to actually rig it. Aaron Pico by robbery. A lot of people are saying Aaron Pico by robbery. That's funny. Jones is the GOAT. John Jones is the GOAT. Yeah, I mean, look, I've said before, even though I don't like John Jones, I would probably say he's the GOAT. Embarrassment, too. The moment Ilya gets knocked out himself, his image changes forever. And I mean, you could say that, but it's like, dude, everyone loses. I mean, if he comes back, he could easily come back and, rewrite history. You know what I'm saying? So I know he talks a lot of shit, and he will get clipped. He will get memed. He will get dragged, thrown in the mud. Absolutely. But I don't know if he'll be changed forever. Don't you think UFC should do inter-promotion cards just to stir things up? What do you mean inter-promotion cards? Like, what do you mean inter-promotion? Oh, PFL versus UFC. So for fan entertainment, yes. Business standpoint, that's a terrible idea, just because you're giving now the PFL an opportunity to say, hey, we're better than the UFC. We actually have better fighters. Because at the end of the day, they're really just MMA fights. Like, you could slip and, slip the wrong way, and then you get knocked out. So sometimes it doesn't always represent. Sometimes I think we could all agree the person that's more skilled doesn't always win the fight. Accidents happen. So, even if the UFC do legitimately have a better roster, there's still a chance that they could lose half those fights, and that's not a good look. That's pretty embarrassing for the UFC, and a bad business position to put yourself in. You're big upping a company, and basically, having them basically get more promotion, which hurts you in return. Patchy Bitbull, let's add Pico to that mix. Yeah, right. I know, but at the same time, though, you mean you mean them losing? Patchy Pitbull. Wait, what do you mean Patchy Pitbull? Oh, Patchy. Okay, I see what you're saying. I was like, what? But are you saying like losing? That's what I'm confused about. Will you watch Contenders and Road to UFC coming up here? I usually don't watch Road to UFC, but I do sometimes watch Contender. So Contender sometimes I watch. Sometimes though, I'm a little behind and I don't. You're gonna get me heated, boy, Profeek. I don't know what Profeek's doing, but like, for example, UFC X Ryzen, for example, there's featherweight champion Razahab Ali, 13-0, 13 KOs versus someone like that. Top fight would be fun in Japan, UFC versus Ryzen. Well, UFC does have a good relationship with Ryzen. When Kaya Sakura fought, I think the president of Ryzen was there. So that, if there was anything, I think they view Ryzen as a friend. They definitely show them a lot of respect in the build-up of the Kaya Sakura-Pantoja fight. It kind of was, in a way, kind of the closest thing we've gotten in a long time from promotion versus promotion with the UFC. What is Aaron Pico's best win, though? Guys beat cans, and yeah, that's the problem. Is that is what we're seeing when these guys come to the UFC. It's a different. They're fighting different types of opponents. You know what I'm saying? If Khamzat loses, should the UFC feed him to Bo so Bo Nickel can get back in the win column? Well, I don't think Khamzat is not getting fed to anybody. Khamzat's a tough fight, but Bo Nickel is an easy fight. Like I said, Bo Nickel, you guys know I've been shitting on Bo Nickel for years, so I'm just happy that I was proven right. And you guys, come on, I've been saying this for years. Bo Nickel is overhyped. Cyril Gane has a better physique aura that will impress at least 2 of the 3 judges, and it's possible. Look, he's got the charm, he's got the looks, he's got the accent. It's possible. Go to the Ducks. Yeah, definitely will be John Jones. I mean, Ryzen isn't a threat to them in U.S., but they explore Japanese casuals. They're which add more value, and that's true. And that's why I think I think you bring up a great point, which is probably why they actually do have a good relationship with Ryzen. Ryzen isn't a threat to them, and you actually brought up a great point. Maybe that's why they don't view that they're a threat. And that opens them to a new market. You're absolutely right. Did you watch? So that's actually a really good point for you to point out. And I think, who knows? I think if any collaboration were to happen, it's probably that one, but I don't think so ever. Did you watch RDR in 1 when you were a kid? What the hell are you talking about when I was a kid? I mean, what the hell? You act like RDR, like what? No. Well, first of all, no, not when I was a kid. I definitely was not watching him in 1 FC, but I don't really watch other promotions. I've talked about this. I usually just watch UFC, and usually when these big guys, of course I knew RDR, usually these big guys, I'll check them out and see their fights and stuff like that. Boxing did a cross promo fight, and I think Eddie Hearn lost all of them. Yeah, exactly. That's a really good example. Exactly. Yeah, there was Eddie Hearn's promotion, which is Matchroom versus it's not Top Rank. It's I don't know, Frank Warren's company, Queensberry, and it was the 2 promotions, and Eddie Hearn's basically his promotion lost every single fight that night. And yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, though, one could argue, did that really hurt his brand? Guys coming from Bellator and doing absolutely nothing and losing their first fight with huge hype. Exactly. I mean, you have to wonder, maybe the UFC should match these guys up a little bit better. It won't make it to the decision, as if Aspinall can't hit Gane, he will just choose to submit him. Jones would get sparked out too. Bellator used Bellator versus Ryzen and would beat them. UFC wouldn't risk the embarrassment. Exactly. And that's what I mean. Bellator, they actually get gain from it. They've cut Gore. Gore is cut? Wow. What the hell? Did they really cut Gore? Wow. Is this true? No way. Is this new? This is some big news, guys. Tresean Gore might have gotten cut from the UFC. See you guys. You open Ryzen. There is one fight of Miku brother. He has 1 million views in 10 hours right now. Yeah, no. Look, Ryzen is popping, dude. I'm not trying to take. I think, like I said, I think it would make sense for them to actually, to do that. Let's see. I'm looking up. Did Tresean Gore? What happened with Tresean Gore? Let's see. Wow, Tresean Gore lost. I don't know if he got cut though. I don't see anything about that. Cyril lost to Volkox. Gane doesn't know what a heel hook is. He's cut though. I think he's gotten a heel hook submission. Marcel Chilo, Michelle Pereira. It is probably, won't know it until tomorrow. Let's see. All right, guys. Let's see. I think Effector Jazz. Look, Cyril Gane has some heel hooks, guys. Cyril gains 3rd title shot because he's Bongo Min. Yeah, he's the GOAT at getting undeserved title shots. Let's put it that way. I mean, seriously. Now, I actually do like Cyril Gane, to be honest. Like, I think Cyril Gane gets shitted on a little too much, but I just think, look, he should not be getting a title shot. I was saying Jay Alton Almeida should get the title shot. I've been saying this for a long time. He should be the one. But I think I'm going to end it here, guys. It is literally about to be 3 in the morning. I love talking to you guys. Love streaming. We're going to do more. I hate to end it, man, because it was great. But honestly, I'm going to be honest, my throat, it's kind of killing me. It's been killing me for a minute. I've been talking a lot. 0-3 in title shots. Yeah, that is a sad stat. Guys, we're going to go live very soon. If you have not hit the subscribe button, do so. And also hit the notification bell because you guys will know when I'm live next. Maybe we'll go live tomorrow. You don't know. I don't know. I'll let you guys know. We'll see if I do wind up going live. Probably not tomorrow, actually. But maybe on Monday. Maybe Tuesday. I don't know. We'll see, guys. Let's see. 0-3 title shots, 1-2. I guess we were going to say for the interim title. Tresean Gore is a good friend of ours. Hope he doesn't get cut. Yeah, for real. Crazy guy. No, yeah, hopefully, look, you got to hope Tresean don't get cut 1-3. Yeah, guys. All right. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, guys. If you guys watch this on YouTube, comment in the comment section below. Thank you guys all for watching. Thank you all for hitting the subscribe button. Or hopefully you guys all hit the subscribe button. I don't know. Let's see. Did we gain any subs? No, we actually lost subs, guys. This is crazy. You guys are haters. Now I'm gonna end this in a fit of rage. I'm gonna end this very angrily. Screaming. And no, I'll probably scream and punch the wall. When you guys see in the next video there's a hole in the wall,